Hey, what's up, everybody? Mogia Monster here, and welcome to Why the Fascination, or WTF, as I like to call it. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. It is Tuesday, and I am flying solo tonight. Prayers go out to Iron Dogger. Her back is not doing good, so she's taking the night off. When we first, when I first asked her to become my co-host, um, she told me in the beginning, there may be times I can't make it. And I was like, no problem, your health comes first. So you're stuck with me alone tonight. What's up, everybody in chat? What's going on? Breeze, what's happening? Good to see you. Mr. Lee, pleasure as always. Hey, Kathy. Lewis, what's up? Paulie T. Mr. Hond. What's up, Rex? Who else is here? Yeah, I was surprised to see. Could be an interesting night. Hopefully, we'll get some overflow from all these other channels that seem to be on Tuesday night. All of a sudden, like Bigfoot Odyssey and Emma. What's happening, girl? Good to see you. Who else is on? Squatch Talk. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we might have a good night tonight. But I am going to put Wit. What's up, man? How you been? Hey, Joe. You see, I'm by myself. There's nobody over there. At some point, why don't you pop on and tell us what's up with your Campout? That's right around the corner, dude. We got about it's on Saturday, Labor Day weekend. So that's the week after this next weekend. Yeah, if you want to, I'm curious, like how many people are going, and what do you got planned? If you want to talk about it, feel free. Come on. I am going to put the link in chat. I have to copy it first. Stacy, good evening. How are you? It's great to see you. All right, let me. Here we go. The Ida, good to see you. The link is in chat, guys. Anybody wants to pop on, say hi. I'm sure Paulie's already clicked it. What's up, Cans? Good to see you. Janet G, welcome. Who else? Isaac, wow. What's going on, Mr. Isaac? Been a while. Holy crap. Great to see you. Wow, that's awesome. What else we got here? I think I've covered just about everybody. Claude, what's up? Good to see you. Wasn't sure if you were going to be around tonight. Good day, Mark. Dark Side Hooligan, what's going on, man? Hold on, let's see. What is dark? Kia ora, people. Day 8 of our lockdown. Popo stopping people for questioning. Gotta love our police state. Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. And you're down in New Zealand, correct? What else we got here? Yeah, I think I covered everybody. So Bigfoot Odyssey had Larry Dotson on tonight. He was drawn. He did what's up, LIB? Mike. He was drawing a Bigfoot. I wonder if he just draws the same Bigfoot over and over again. I'm kidding. No, he does. He's really good artist. I didn't watch the whole thing, but yeah, they should be wrapping up here soon. Hopefully, we'll get a onslaught. So, Mike, you just got here. I am flying solo tonight. Iron Dogger's back has got her on her back, flat on her back. So prayers, like I said, go out to her, and hopefully she gets better. Well, sorry, gets well soon, I should say, or better soon. Matty D, what's up? Welcome. Connor wasn't lying. Well, I'm biased, so. He said, "What's going on, everyone? Connor sent me. I heard great things. Awesome." So I see some new faces. You guys wondering what's why the fascination? What we're about here? I started this channel a year ago, but I've been around. I've been friends with most of these people for probably going on 3 years now. And we're all here for a reason. All in these different fringe channels, be it paranormal, Bigfoot, UFO. We all have this curiosity, and what draws us here. I have stories to tell. So it was like, well, what's everybody else's story? What's why the fascination with these subjects? So it started in the beginning. I was interviewing people, and then I decided to change it up and just put the link in chat. So if anybody has a story they want to tell, they can just pop on and tell it, and we're we're a group of open-minded people. Trust me. I'm not going to say we're going to sit here and we believe you. No, tell us a story first. But we are open-minded. If you're going to tell a story, it's on one of these channels where, you have most of the same people in chat listening. So no matter where you tell it, just tell it, but here's an opportunity. Jimbo, what's happening, man? Good to see you. He's yodeling. Hello, Mogs. Missing time, orb in the woods, MIBs, fishing. We cover everything. And that's the other thing is half the time, who knows what's going to come up. Uncle Bones, good evening. Hey, Judy. Shit, what haven't we covered? We just we go off on these little side stories or whatever you want to call them. Nightmare 365, what's up? Love this community. He or she. I can't. I'm going with a he. All right. Had to see the picture first. You know what, dude? There are. It is an amazing bunch of people. On every platform. All around. Because we are an open-minded group. I've never had a Bigfoot encounter, but I'm fascinated with Bigfoot. I've had paranormal shit happen, and I've told that before, and many times. But if I'm gonna believe in the paranormal, like ghosts and shit, why wouldn't I give flesh and blood a chance? Like a Bigfoot. I've heard too many stories to. I just don't think that everybody's lying. I think the people that I've talked to so many people, and everybody can't be lying. Let's put it that way. I believe everybody I've talked to. No one has anything to gain by telling their story. It's a ridiculed subject. So But yeah, welcome, guys. Again, if you have a story you want to tell, you want to come on, or you just want to hang out, you know, most of everybody. Let's see. Nightmare 365 says we just did an episode on the Cash and Landrum UFO incident. Love to hear thoughts from everyone if you all know about this incident. I don't. Cash and Landrum. Where is that? Dude, if you want to pop on and tell us about it, feel free. I'm assuming you have a show. Here's the link in chat. Use it if you want. Yeah, we talk about anything, dude. We're up. This is what my show is about. You know, now I say now that, but you know, putting the link in chat gives anybody the opportunity. And if you click on that link, you're going to be on this screen. I don't vet. I don't. You know, I want to hear what you have to say. So, Connor, what's happening, man? Oh, was Leslie here? Scrolling up. I saw it in the name, but I didn't see her pop up. Oops. That's ironic that I clicked on the same exact thing twice. Or LIB says he's got grandpa bones at this point. How do you think Bigfoot reacts to severe weather, floods, hurricane, tornadoes, etc.? Oh, Robert, what's up, man? Sorry, I didn't even look at your name. I think they're just as prone to be struck, or devastated by a flood or a hurricane or a tornado. I'm sure they do their best to hunker down, get to higher ground. I think they're smart enough to do that. But I think they're pretty much at nature's mercy, just like we are. They might be able to hold on to a tree a little longer. But yeah, tornadoes, I think they probably, unless it drops on top of them, probably get out of the way. I don't know. I have no idea. It's a good question, though. Because down here in Florida, we get all sorts of fucking weather. All right, I gotta go back down and see what. Oh, there you are. Oh, see that? Leslie says most of my experiences are paranormal as well. So, well, that's funny. I almost said, then how did you become a Bigfoot channel? But you're not. It's cryptids. I had to correct myself. But you do tell some amazing stories. Yeah, like Leslie. Anytime you want to pop on, I want to hear these stories. I love stories. I love stories. Firsthand accounts, just love them. I love telling stories. My stories are limited. Well, I mean, I have tons of stories, but they're not all paranormal. There's like a handful. Link is in chat once more. I can, I've met people, celebrities, whatever. I mean, I've got stories. I've got, but I think you've even told some of those. Miss Dill, how are you, hon? Oh, prayers for Dill's foot. She kicked the like button. She stubbed her toe or hurt her foot. WTF, Mike, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Bobby Ounce. How are you, Bobby? Who else? Hey, Jen. See, I get to babbling and I don't talk. I don't pay attention to chat. Yeah. So thanks for reminding me, Dill. Take care of your foot. Uh, if you're enjoying this, hit that like button. Or if you don't like it, hit the other one. Doesn't matter. It all counts. Mount St. Helens got a few of them. I'm assuming you're talking about boogers or Sasquatch, or you know what I mean. I feel like because I'm down in Florida, I have to call them swamp apes and boogers. It's weird. You have to fit in because I say, like, if I were to say Yeti here, they'd be like, what? Skunk ape? Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. What kind of weather were you having? When? Right now, it's just a little overcast. There's some storms that had passed by. We didn't get it hit. There was lightning and shit in the distance. Um, but I think this next week there's some disturbances out in the Atlantic. There's like 3 depressions that could form, potential depressions, tropical storms, whatever. Got to keep an eye on. Hopefully they don't affect us too bad. And prayers to everybody in the Northeast that you guys got hit with that storm. A lot of flooding, even North Carolina. Everybody, Tennessee. Just prayers to everybody. There's Joe. Hey, Joe. How you
What's
feeling?
up? I'm good.
Awesome.
That COVID stuff
Excuse
wasn't
me.
gonna get me down.
What's that?
That COVID stuff wasn't gonna get me down.
Oh, hell no.
Just gotta stay active, man, and don't let it get you stuck in the bed.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't know. You know what? I could have had it already. I have no idea. I mean, I've had some, like 2 weeks ago. I had some, and I still have a little like tightness in my chest, and I just think it's because I smoke too much. So,
I still
in
got
order,
this. I still
in
got a
order,
cough, but they told me it
yeah.
was the allergies. So
How's
I've been
did
taking
you?
allergy. I've been
I
taking
forget.
allergy.
Did you lose your sense of taste and smell, or no?
Yeah, kind of, cause it was, I couldn't taste my beer.
Oh no.
The effects were still there, but
Do you really drink it for taste?
yeah, I do like the taste of it. I do like the taste of it.
um. Yeah. No. I no. I can. I was kind of a, not a beer snob, but there were some beers that I just couldn't drink.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. There's a lot
Oh.
of beer I just can't drink.
Um. So
Hey, what you need?
what's your turnout looking like? How's everything going? Yeah, you getting ready?
Well, so far there is like 60 confirmed going,
Six
but
zero.
60,
Holy sugar!
and there's like another 30 or 40 that said they're going like on a Saturday, come down there for the day, or come down on a Sunday and just spend a day down there.
Damn.
It's not because of me; it's because of Old Bear.
Hey, anyway you get him there, man. You know, Ralph's a great guy.
He
So
is. He's a wonderful guy, and I love him
yeah,
to death. And I get to finally meet him. Him and the guys from Animal Research too. I finally get to meet them.
awesome.
We've been talking for a couple of years, and I never got. Of course, met the guys from Animal Research, Wayne and Jasper. They've met Ralph when they went
I've had
camp.
him. I've had Ralph on the show once or twice, and yeah, he is just so cool. I,
And
I like his way of storytelling. You
oh
know,
yeah,
he
yeah.
just repeats a story that he heard. You know,
He says he's been doing it for 35 years, and I'm not sure, but I think he said that he's had 13 encounters.
1-3.
1-3.
Okay. There's a slight echo. It's like almost like you're in an echo chamber. It's not an echo. It's a, what would you call it? A
Oh,
little bit of reverb. So I
should I
guess
turn the air
it's,
conditioner off?
no, 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 no. I don't even hear that.
Hey, Mark Dodman.
What's up, Satch? Who else is here? Can't wait to see the pics, videos from the trip to put faces to the names in this community. Oh, right on. Yeah, it's funny because the first time you meet somebody or someone calls out your name, and I forget that I go by Mogs on this, and when I went to the 168 and I heard, "Hey, Mogs," I'm like, "What?" And then I'm like, "Who are you?" But yeah,
When I was in Fort Worth, and that guy was in line, we were standing in line to go into this Mexican food restaurant, and some guy goes, "The Squatch and Cowboy." I turn around like, "Where?" And my wife goes, "He's talking to you, dumbass."
That's awesome though. I've never been like picked out in public, like in a public place. No one's been like, "Hey, are you?" No.
The only place I go by, well, everybody calls me Cowboy now, but which is fine with me. That's fine. I don't care.
Judy, no, you didn't. It's not out yet.
Yeah, Kelly's doing all the editing right now.
Why all of it suddenly now? Sorry.
He said he was going to turn off his phone, all his lifeline to everybody outside,
and he's going to do a week's worth of editing, a week's worth of film, all that film editing in one weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
No, I don't. Yeah. See what happens.
He must be locked in the room and his wife bringing food or something. But it takes me a couple of days.
This should have been done. This should have been done a long time ago, but whatever. I still look forward to it. I want to see how it comes out.
Well, he's been pretty busy.
I have high hopes. Hey, Big Rob, what's up, man? Thank you for putting that link in chat. In my opinion, it should have been done by now. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought he said
Dan, what's up, man? Originally, it was July 4th.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. And that was before it was even finished. Like, before we even finished the... Well, we were still at the expedition. He was like, yeah, July 4th. I'm like, right on.
Austrian guy.
Who am I missing? So, dude, I didn't expect that many people. It's not a big campground.
I didn't either. I think there's 32 campsites.
Yeah. And how many tents can you put on a campsite?
They said, from what I hear, it says 2 tents per campsite. So,
I think people are under the impression that there's more tents per campsite or something. I don't know.
Oh, it might be, but I just think I heard 2 for some reason. Might be more.
I looked it up. I mean, I think I went to their site and tried to, but I didn't know like if you guys got a group campsite, group rate. I didn't know how you guys did that, so I didn't know what I was looking up. Mr. Vaughn, what's up?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Oh, jeez.
I just wanted to tell Cowboy that was funny that when I was on here, letting y'all admire my southern accent, that he said, "What the fuck? Paulie's playing me." And I was afraid to come on camera tonight because I was going to the bathroom and I saw a shadow and I crapped my pants. And I didn't want you to see the expression on my face.
Why, did you get it on your face? Oh! Sorry.
Yes, I did. I took my shorts off. I had my suspenders on and they're very elasticy. Came right back up and hit me right in the smacker.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to see something.
Paulie's been drinking, eating too much watermelon with vodka in it.
I'm just looking at comments. So why you have Patrick's name on here? On here?
Don't be shy.
Apparently.
He told me come on as me, so I said I would. I got to be at 2004. He knows it.
Sharon Guy, how are you? What's up, Papa? Papa Craig?
Well, I'm kind of disappointed in this tip.
What's up?
I said I'm kind of upset that Jackie's not here. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, man. It's just her back is bothering her. She's been dealing with back issues for a while now. But yeah, she's I think she's got a doctor's appointment next week. She's gonna get a injection. She's tough, you know. She's been through hell and back.
Yeah.
And got out of the woods, you know. So she'll be fine. I am just amazed at the strength of these women that I know. Stevie's doing good, by the way. She's a little bummed out. She tested positive for COVID, but she doesn't have any symptoms. So she's out of the hospital, and they had put her into a physical therapy rehab. But now she's
for nothing.
What?
She's a bad imaging right there.
Say that again, Paulie.
I didn't say a damn thing. It was Joe. The batteries on his hearing aid are fucking failing.
Yes.
Just kidding, guys. Hey, come on, man. I'm sorry it's a chore. I'll get off and I'll let you guys get back to your serious chat.
No, dude, it's all right. I just, I see Patrick's name come up and it's not him.
Dude, what do you want from me? I have to be fucking incognito all the time.
Your voice gives you away.
I'm gonna come out as Mogi Monster one time. You're gonna be, what the fuck? How can it be me? I'm here. I'm right here.
No, I'd love to see that one.
Dude, I'm gonna wear a wig like fucking Livewire did. I'll have the T-Rex, the bandana. Dude, I'll do a promo video and all. Dude, tonight I'm Mogi Monster. Mogi Monster interviews Mogi Monster.
That'd be a good one.
I do that interview.
He does it in the mirror every day, Joe. Cowboy. He looks in the mirror and goes, "Hey, how you doing, Russ?" Hey, Russ goes, "You look fabulous. Look at that hair." Like,
it's more like, oh, what the fuck? No.
I'm glad I didn't take a drink of beer recently.
I like to call it "What's the Fascination," but the meme's like, "What the? What's going on here?"
Kind of like I did last week.
Yep.
Kubota was exposed by Steve Carls as a hoax. I don't know who this is. Well, there are a lot of hoaxers out there, guys.
I'm one of them.
Nah.
I just don't want you guys to see me at KFC and go, "There's that motherfucker right there. I'm gonna jam that drumstick right down his throat, that lying bastard."
I'm going to buy you a watermelon, Paulie.
Dude, let me tell you something right now. By the end of the summer, my skin's going to be so brown, I may be confused for a man of color because I've been eating way watermelon.
Don't go there, man.
No, dude, it's a stereotype, and I get it. But really, you know what? Them guys are on the something that us white folk don't know about. You should eat a lot of that stuff. It's very good.
It's hydrating.
It's like barbecue. Oh, absolutely.
Dude,
especially with some vodka.
Oh, behave.
We do have some good watermelons here.
Well, but it's got about 80 proof in it, Joe. It's pretty good. It won't freeze. You know, it hits that spot just right. You don't get too dry, too wet. You just right in the middle of the happening.
I haven't.
But anyway,
actually
I'm going to
had watermelon in a while.
this short and sweet. I'm going to make this short and sweet because, you know, I'm only like 4'3". The camera makes me look bigger, unlike Russell. We already know Russell's a giant. He's like 8'7". He could play basketball, but he had no coordination. That boy, I'll tell you, couldn't dribble and chew gum at the same time.
Tripped over my own 2 feet.
I do that every day. I got a size 13 shoe. Trust me.
Because you can't see your feet.
Well, I can't because my belly's in the way. I got a dicky do, Russ. My belly sticks out.
More than your dicky do?
You're great,
all right,
Paulie.
guys.
You're great.
Joe, good to see you, and I'm not picking on you today. You got nothing but love for me today. Next week, different story.
Well, thanks, man. I love it.
Nah, it's all good.
I'm sure I'll see you soon.
And Patrick, I told you I was going to come on. Too bad I didn't put my nutsack on that camera fucking right there, because everybody going, pat my nutsack, pat my nutsack. Who the hell is this guy? What's this guy got a fetish? He likes people to pat his nutsack? I don't know what the hell's going on here. All right, I'll see you guys.
Bye, Paulie.
See you later, Paulie. Sure, he'll be back.
I'm sure he will be.
No, I thought Patrick was coming on. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Click. I was disappointed. Nothing against you, Paulie. Hey, Brandy.
Hi, Brandy.
Meredith, hello. Jeff Harding. Oh, he's singing. Oh, I almost just broke into song. Damn.
Go ahead.
No.
Let's hear it.
No, because that just, the thought of it, I got this panic attack. I was that close. I was just going to break into that song. And then I got really nervous.
I want to tell you about the campsite down there. The campsites are all in good shape, but the road going up the mountain, Ralph was telling me today that the rain had washed some boulders down across the road up there, and there's a bunch of big gully washers. And they said that you probably couldn't go up there in a 2-wheel drive, but you can go up there in a 4-wheel drive or a 4-wheeler or whatever. But that's not going to stop me from going up there, going in the woods. I'll walk my ass up there.
To get to the campgrounds?
No, there's where we're camping is down at the bottom of the mountain. And then when we're going to do Squatch, you get to drive like 9 miles up into the mountain. There's a road up in there.
Oh, okay. But to get to the campgrounds is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh,
that's all.
Okay. Threw me off there for a minute.
That's not going to stop me from going in there. I'm going deep in the woods this time. I'm going to.
Right on.
I'm going to get off the trails and
bushwhack.
Hopefully my buddy Kenny, that's 10 years younger than me, can keep up. And he's a cop too. He's supposed to stay in shape.
Sounds like a challenge.
He can't walk 10 feet without huffing and puffing. He got a buddy like me.
Yeah, I huff and puff too.
Yeah, but you smoke. Neither one of us smoke.
Oh, then there's no excuse for that. You're just out of shape.
He's just out of shape. All he does is ride around a cop car all day. Kind of like a truck driver, like me. That's how I got fat, driving a truck.
Where is he on the job?
And where's he a cop at?
Yeah.
He told me not to say.
State?
Texas. He's in Texas. He's just right down the street from me. But he always told me, he says, you can tell him I'm in law enforcement, but don't tell him what police service I'm working for, so. Even though everybody in his force down there knows damn well he loves Bigfoot since we came back from that trip from Oklahoma.
Oh, really? He's not going to get himself in trouble, is he?
No. Matter of fact, he's trying.
That ain't going to happen, by the way.
What?
Mogs, if you sing, Mr. Lee 3PO is coming on. LOL. I'll sing before he comes on. Trust me.
He's trying. The police force down there has a badass thermal, and he's going to see if he can borrow it to bring it up there with us.
Oh, right.
It's a badass thermal too. I don't know how long it far can see, but he says it's one of them good. Well, they're going to have good. It's a government place for it.
Sure. Now what?
Oh boy.
Journey to the other. That's as far as we got.
Journey to the other side. It cuts off. Sorry.
What's up, man?
What's up? Connor Flynn sent me here. I don't know if he gets a referral code.
That asshole? Nah.
Man, Bogan, I thought that was Paulie.
I can't use.
That's what I was worried about in the beginning. I'm like, okay, who's this?
Nah, don't worry. Not just some random guy. I'm some random guy who also likes Bigfoot. So
Oh, right on, man. Welcome.
yeah, man.
Do you have a channel like a show or anything?
Yeah. I'm on YouTube. Journey to the Other Side.
Right
Same
on.
as here. I'm on TikTok. Journey to the Other Side too. Like the number. So
If one of my mods can find that Journey to the Other Side, maybe post his link in chat.
Oh yeah. Also, I should be the first. I'm the first result on YouTube for that.
Right on.
Yeah. So I just thought I'd come on here and talk. I'm sorry, Joe.
Are you coming to the Squatch out with Connor?
No. We're I'm from New Jersey, so we're all like
What
geographic.
exit?
Oh, okay.
Shoot, actually, yeah, someone shut. Yeah, we're kind of. Cause, no, I was just in Cape May like a few days ago, so someone asked me that. Actually, we're not near any highway. What?
Where are you from in Jersey?
Like Somerset County.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Point Pleasant.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I've been there a few times, but Point Pleasant, New Jersey, not Mothman. Point Pleasant.
No, New Jersey with the boardwalk.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. It's a nice place. Yeah.
So, what's your show about?
I should probably so my tagline is anything unexplained. So, Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, whatever. I'd say I'm like Bigfoot focused, but I just want more freedom with what I can cover in that way.
Sure.
So that's just why I want to.
This channel is the same way.
Yeah, if you only covered the, is it Muglin or Mogul? I've heard it like.
It's Mogion.
Oh shit. Yeah, because I did.
Why it's Mogi, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But the yon, the L's, the double L is like Spanish for like the sound.
Oh.
But it's pronounced. Some say Mogion, but I've been saying Mogion. I've heard it said Mogion, so that's what I stuck with.
Yeah. You guys get big enough. That's just the
Everybody else
size.
is Mogs.
I've been pronouncing it wrong in all my videos, so don't worry about it.
So, what kind of experiences have you had in Jersey?
Well, we have so we don't have a ton of big, like there are Bigfoot sightings, scattered around. But I think my area's only ever had one, like full stop ever. So we have some ghosts, had some things that I think I'm like kind of in the board. Maybe that was something paranormal. It could have just been, I don't know. But more of an armchair researcher because, with like Bigfoot in New Jersey, you can't really get the type of tools you'd want if you're face to face with like that too easily with all the restrictions. But,
as far as what kind of tools?
Okay. Bang bang. Firearms.
Oh, no.
No, that's a nightmare. You don't want to go looking for Bigfoot and have to use your words if he's angry.
Why? I don't go in the woods armed.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
I carry knives, but I don't carry a firearm.
Oh, are you from Arizona currently? Or?
I'm from New Jersey.
No, I just
right now I live in Florida.
Oh, just like I don't.
But I just moved to Florida in March. I spent the past 10, 11, 12 years in Arizona.
Oh yeah, because I just figured that's where you got the name from.
Yeah.
So why is that? Why just the knives? Is that anything personal choice or?
I don't feel the need to go in the woods with a gun.
That's fair.
And I carry a knife everywhere.
Yeah.
Just anyway, but in that situation, when I'm out there, I carry more than one.
Obviously,
I'll have like 3 on me.
Yeah. I think
you never know where the position you're going to be in. Where you're going to need to reach a knife. So
absolutely.
So I have one on each hip and one in my pocket, and sometimes I even put one by my boot. Just so if I'm sitting down and I can't reach something, but it sounds weird, but
No, it makes sense. Yeah, no, I think if I were gonna look for a Bigfoot, that's me personally. So have you ever seen anything tangible? Bigfoot know if you are carrying and behave accordingly.
Yeah, I believe they do know. I mean, that's why you see you hear stories. Don't have anything in your hands. Don't.
That's true.
If you're going to go out there, I mean, like you shouldn't even go out with a camera. Unless it's concealed on your body. When you're walking, but you shouldn't go out there with anything in your hands. Nothing threatening. Yeah, I mean, people want protection, and if you're going to carry a gun, put it under your vest. Don't.
I mean, Patterson and Gimlin.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah, that's true.
Or don't carry one. But some people won't go out in the woods without one. Miss Page, what's up? Good to see you. That's Iron Dogger's dad. Yeah, Iron Dogger wasn't feeling good tonight, so she's resting up. Iron Dogger is my co-host, who's not here tonight. She got the name Iron Dogger. It's not a name; it's a title. No, she competed. Her and her partner were the only two women to ever, in the pro class, to ever finish the Iron Dog race, which is a 2,000-mile snowmobile race in Alaska.
That's incredible! Congratulations.
Yeah. So she goes by Iron Dogger.
You can't say she hasn't earned it.
Does she have any pictures of that?
I said. So where in Jersey have you explored? Well, I did touch. So, I mean, I'm a bit of a sellout in that some stuff I don't want to explore until I know I can make a video about it. I'll freely admit to that. Shame falls at me. But,
I wouldn't go into any place without making a video.
Yeah, got to get that bag. But near me, there's something called the Devil Tree, which I don't know. Are you familiar? So, okay, so basically, it's just this tree. It's said to be cursed. Whole dark history behind it, but they say if you touch it, you will fall victim. That was a little over a year ago, and I've been good so far. So,
you touched it?
Yeah, I did. I would not.
Where is this?
New Jersey, the Basking Ridge, New Jersey. I won't survive any horror movie. I'm always the guy who would investigate the weird sound in the attic, in the haunted house, in the native burial ground.
On Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Or Halloween,
In the abandoned, burnt down psychiatric ward from the 1800s with a full moon outside.
Yeah, I've heard Bigfoot stories out of Jersey, but up Sussex County area.
We have a big red eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the Jersey Devil is really our claim to fame in terms of the paranormal.
Yeah.
Is that anywhere close to Mike from Long Island Bigfoot?
Oh no, he was last week. I was on Gypsy Road. He was in the chat, but no, I'm not.
Mike, he's a good guy.
Carrying. Oh my god, because I can. Smart.
No, but I just that makes sense, Jeff. It just I don't, like I said, I don't condone carrying a weapon in the woods unless you're a hunter.
Yeah. I guess it's what's your intention when you find Bigfoot.
I don't carry a gun for Bigfoot. I carry a gun for the hogs.
That's true. I just carry a bigger knife for that.
I think if you're going into the Pine Barrens,
I don't want to get that close. I'd stab them.
I don't either. I'll climb a tree first, but that poor tree.
No bark on it, like in the cartoon.
I think I've seen that cartoon. So I'm looking to see if there's any more questions in chat. Oh, Brandy, I had that question for you, dude. She's in Jersey too.
Sorry, I might have to scroll up a little bit.
She's a Jersey girl.
Jersey girl.
Jersey girl.
Jersey.
You got the weird. No, I'm familiar with a lot of them. I don't have the physical copy because I don't know. Do they still make the magazine? I think Yeah, no, I saw a few copies
You're in New Jersey?
a few days ago. Yeah, but I don't know like how recent they were.
That's Mark Moran and Mark. Oh, I forget his other. Shit.
Yeah, New Jersey is a pretty.
We have a weird Florida. I think there's one in here somewhere.
Florida's weird before you get to the paranormal stuff, even.
Jen's in Jersey too. I didn't know that, or maybe I did. Brown Dwarf, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Mike says, well, WTF Mike says he's always armed. Well, that's because you don't believe in Bigfoot. So.
It's all gravy till the Bigfoot starts shooting back.
You see what Mr. Lee says over there? Have I ever
I don't know about the magazines either, Brandy. I know they have the hard. Actually, I don't know if this is a hard one. I think it's a soft cover, but it's the weird Florida. I'm just curious. It's probably within my reach too. Mr. Lee wants to know, Cowboy, ever done any gold prospecting?
No.
You sound disappointed.
I know I want to be rich and have gold and all that good stuff, but no, I've never done it.
Hey, Blue-Eyed Northern. Yeah. Drake, what's up?
Hey, Pat, how you doing? You ready to go?
I didn't want to have this interview tonight, Paulie, but what's up?
Hey, I just want to jump on real quick and say I really love your show. I wear a lot alike. I have really long flowing locks, a blue bandana. I run through the forest naked looking for short-haired bunny rabbits. Now look, I got to go before that other guy thinks I'm stealing his thunder.
Oh, God.
Chasing short-eared bunny rabbits.
Was he telling the truth though, about your runs in the woods naked chasing bunnies?
No. I wear a loincloth. Hey, you know.
I'm an Adam and Eve fig leaf guy personally, but to each his own.
I wear a leopard skin.
Huh.
WTF Mike says I'm a professional asshole. I'm bound to upset somebody.
To think I've been doing it for free this whole time.
So what else what do you do, dude?
In terms of this, so I've got like 156 videos on YouTube. Then TikTok is its own thing. That's like not really hard hitting research by any metric, but I got like some decent views on there. I got like 26,000 followers. So much.
On TikTok?
Yeah, no, TikTok's its own game though. Like it's super easy.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't either. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, I know Connor had Bigfoot and Down, but it posted
Connor did
video, and he got slammed with like I don't know what he's up to now. It's probably over 300,000.
Yeah, back in December. So this one woman reached out to me over Instagram and from Southern California with some potential Bigfoot footage. So I just posted on there, and it got 1.8 million views. So that was pretty nifty.
Nifty, he says.
Okay. I like to keep the vocab buried on here.
Katie G, what's up?
Joe Parker, hi.
Joe, what's going on, man?
Not much.
Thank you.
Oh, to juice you on the beat. Can you can make money on TikTok, just not that much.
You don't make much money here either. So.
No, TikTok is like 3 cents per 1,000 views, so it's.
Y'all make money doing this?
You guys are getting paid?
Check.
Damn. I need to come on and start.
That's my fault. Speaking of, I get yelled at because I'm always like, I don't. I'm always like, I don't want anybody's money.
I'll take it.
No. It's because then I get yelled at when people like to make donations. I said you'll never see super chats and stuff on my channel or whatever. But then I'm like, somebody always says, dude, why do you insult people? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, well, people like to give, like to donate, they like to help. But when you take it away, that away from them, it's kind of insulting. And I was like, I suppose. So all that segued up to this. Yeah, anybody feels like they want to donate to the channel, feel free. I'm not going to turn you down. At the end of the show, I'll put my link, my PayPal link in the description. Just throwing it out there.
Look,
yeah, I'm getting tired of getting yelled at.
I'm on Social Security. I'm on Social Security disability, and I don't make much. And
I ain't asking you for shit.
I know. I'm just saying that this trip up there to Tennessee.
That's the thing, is I know there are a lot of people. I know the age group here, and there are a lot of people that might be on, a fixed income, and I don't want to put anybody in a position of, like, because it happened to me where I subscribed to a channel and like a day before I put my check in my bank account, the channel took out for the automatic payment, and it cost me $35. I was like, So I wouldn't want that to. I wouldn't want that to happen because of something else. So I don't.
I told everybody I'm gonna be picking up aluminum cans all the way up there just so I can get back.
It's gonna take you forever to get there, though.
Yeah. Well, I got to figure it's going to take us 14 hours to get up there. And I know Pat and Joe Parker do the same thing, but my buddy says it's going to take us 10 hours to get up there because he's driving.
Joe says my flower bed looks like shit. Mogs really like to pay you to hit him. Who did your flower bed?
Okay.
Whatever. I might have read it wrong.
No, I'm reading it too, but he might have wrote it wrong.
True. So who else is in here? What do we have? 75 watching. That's awesome.
Jeez.
7 pearls.
Is she in here? I haven't seen.
I just see somebody say 7 pearls.
I'm just looking at comments.
It gets real quiet when we do that.
Darkside Hooligan says, Cryptis Canada, you should do voiceover work for audiobooks. She just did her own. She did. That was a great book. What was that? Primal Revenge? Was that I believe that was the name of it. If you guys haven't checked out Cryptids Canada, please do. She's got an amazing channel. If you like listening to stories, narrated, check her out. And like I said, she did narrate her own book, which is a work of fiction. But damn, it was a really good read. Good job on that. Oh, there she is. 7 pearls.
Look to work.
Yeah, there she is.
Oh no, my pleasure. Give credit where credit's due is my belief, and you deserve it. Oh yeah, I'm still working on those damn beds.
Oh, thanks, Uncle Bones too.
I get it now. It all falls in together.
So what is your subscriptions? Where are you at?
32.74 now. Gained a few since I came on, so thanks, guys. Hope to return the favor at some point.
I know.
So, it's just something I do for fun. Like, are you guys in the partner program, or I don't know how it works with live streams? Does YouTube pay you?
I'm monetized, but I
Yeah.
have to. I haven't seen a penny.
Yeah.
just because I haven't. There's a step I have to take to finish setting up an account. Haven't been that worried about it.
Yeah, no, it's not. I think so. I've been in this for like 2 years, and I'm like $500 or $600 total. So not exactly a Rockefeller.
No.
I get like $12 per 1,000 views or something.
It depends. I make like about 4. So it depends on like a billion different factors. It's like how old your audience is. What like the finance guys, they make a lot more obviously per 1,000 views, just because whoever's watching probably has more money to throw around.
Well, they'll be deducting money from my bank then.
So Brown Dwarf says, Mogollon Monster, did you ever hit the Mogollon Rim? I have. Yeah, I've camped up there. I've been fishing up there. If you check out, if you go back to probably within the first 17, I think, videos that I did in the beginning, one of them is Kevin Keeney, and I did that interview up on the Mogollon Rim. So if you want to check that out,
Was that your first? Was that your first video?
No, that was just one of them. First 17, I did. I got like guests on and pre-recorded everything. So then after that, I was like, why just go live?
Just go live.
It didn't make sense. So, and I haven't looked back. I love doing this live. It's fun. I get to hang out with these people every week, twice a week. Win. Get to talk about things that fascinate me and learn things. When someone has experiences and starts talking about Bigfoot and stuff, I just shut up. I just listen. Why is he so quiet?
That's the one thing I don't understand why the people at Squatch out. He invited me to go up there and help host them. Hell, I ain't nobody.
Oh, yeah. Jenky asked, do I have an email? Yeah, hold on, dude. It's monstermogollon@gmail.com. Anybody, you want to send an email, hit me up.
Do we know this other person? That's me, Tracy Benna. Connor Flynn just sent me a link, said to check you guys out. I'm super into the paranormal, so that's how we got here.
What paranormal experiences have you had?
Yeah, mostly just research. Sadly, I'm uninitiated in that regard, but I think they just avoid me at this point.
How long have you been doing this?
How long have I been doing it? So YouTube is a little over 2 years. And then TikTok is probably starting, I want to say November. Thanks, Big Rob. Pollyanna show, play the stock market.
John Hall wants to know, Journey, besides New Jersey, do you go to other places to do your research?
And I can't really justify it at like the scale of my channel at the moment, like going to others out of state for some of this stuff. So I do want it to be self-sustaining. Oh, thanks, Miss Still. Glad you enjoyed.
Self-sustaining? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. I was saying, like, I want to be able to pay for itself to a degree.
Sure. Oh.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I definitely get that.
I think he's biting my foot.
Jeez. Oh, hey, buddy.
This thing.
My daughter's cat.
Oh, right on, Janky. Shadowlands pick of Bigfoot, huh?
Yeah, it was this old Bigfoot pic from the 90s. Alleged. So I kind of like took a look at it, did an analysis. I don't think it's legitimate, but 99.99% sure that was a fake.
What's not kosher, buddy? Moog's example, hey, thanks for the bagel, but it's not kosher. I can't read it. What the fuck? Oh, that's the name of the show. And that's how I feel right now because it's not kosher.
Oh boy.
Some of these comments are more cryptid than the damn creature. Mr. Harding, what's up?
Hey, Bogues, how are you?
Good,
What's
man.
up,
Hey,
Jeff?
Joe.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right so far.
Yeah.
But this show's kind of been on early though. No telling what's about to happen.
Let's see. Niall
You
Parkins.
never know.
What is this about? Dude, we're just what are we about?
That's a
it's
loaded
funny.
question.
No,
That
it's
is.
funny because I kind of explained the whole premise of it early, like when I first came on the show tonight, and I never do that. Like once in a blue moon, I'll say, "Hey, this is what we do here." If you're new, we have Bigfoot experiencers here, paranormal experiencers, UFO experiencers, and basically whatever. I mean, we talk about anything. We kind of lean more towards Bigfoot.
Hi,
And
Nikki.
if you have a story you want to tell, you can come on and tell it. I put the link in chat, so anybody's welcome to come on. You leaving us already, Jeff?
No, just had to turn around a little bit here.
And they even talked about a whale dork on here.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? We've talked about some bizarre shit. Nikki, what's up?
Wasn't that Papa Craig?
Just depends on who gets on here. It can get really weird.
It's true though, but it's fun,
Well, yeah, that's the unpredictability, I think, is why a lot of people probably tune in, is that
Hoping
if
for
you
a
knew
train
what
wreck.
you were going to get every time, would you keep
Oh
coming
no,
every
that's
time?
boring. No. That's yeah.
It's not PG.
No.
Well, most of the kids are in bed by now in most cases.
Hilton Winwood, what's up,
School's
buddy?
back in.
Yeah, but I mean, I put it out there. It's not a, it's adult only. It's not a PG show. We're all adults here. If you come on and you have a story to tell, and you have to drop an F-bomb because hey man, that fucking thing scared the shit out of me, or climbed up the fucking tree. Go for it. If it's part of the story, that's the way you have to express yourself. Go for it.
And it isn't just about any language that might show up. I mean, when we do seriously talk about the subject matter of encounters and some of the phenomena that get discussed when we're talking about stuff, I mean, you have to approach it from we mask it with the humor, right, a lot of times, but it takes a mature mind to be able to really thoughtfully discuss some of the things we talk about. I mean, that's if we didn't approach it from some serious standpoint.
Oh, absolutely. And everybody knows that we take this serious. We do laugh a lot, but I take this serious. You guys, if anybody's willing to share their story, and you have to give them, benefit of the doubt, and
sure,
people know that they can come here and at most any other channel, and that are in this genre, and
I'll tell you what I find really refreshing about it is that we can talk about the subject without, so to speak, stepping on people's toes, or without saying something tongue in cheek, so to speak, and it being taken so literal. I was on another channel, just in the chat. I wasn't on the show, but in the chat, one of the guests was describing something that they had noticed with their encounter. And in the chat, I had just mentioned, wow, that seems odd. Now, I said that because based on all my experience, my research, and everything else, genuinely, what he was describing, I did find it odd. I meant nothing as to question your credibility, or that me making that statement would make me feel that you're not believable. I truly found that detail just odd. I mean, intriguing, like odd, right?
But somebody jumped all
But
over.
boy, I'll tell you what. I mean, people just don't. It's like just unwind it a couple turns and just reset. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an odd. It was an odd detail that he had noticed, and I just kind of felt like it wasn't that I didn't feel that it made the story or his account not credible. It just I'd never heard of that happening before. Not to say that it couldn't, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But it just wasn't perceived well, and I just thought, gosh, you know, you guy could get in here and say that and chat and say, "Wow, that's really odd," and nobody's gonna jump all
I
over
wouldn't
you. I
blink.
mean,
So a few might agree with you. You know, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that is pretty weird."
well, we specialize in odd here, so I mean, people should be used to that.
Yeah,
Pants
definitely.
are
Yeah, pants are optional.
Why do you think I got the camera off?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how he got so many TikTok subscribers. What kind of show you running there?
Hey, you said it's not PG.
Hey, OnlyFans tightened up the restrictions, so everybody ran to TikTok, I guess.
hey, Tracy Benna. Who else we got in here? Dave Stewart, what's going on? Another Jersey boy. Who else?
I would like to say I do, along with everybody else in chat has been saying it throughout the evening. I hope Stevie continues to feel better. And now Jackie, you know, kind of having to take a step back, just probably more precautionary. I know she, you know, her back's sore, this and that. It certainly
she
wouldn't prevent her from being on if she had to be. But I really understand that she's an active woman. I mean, very active woman. You know, it's not likely that she's going to go 365 days in a row without feeling like I need a break. So, totally get that.
Also, Sandra Popper's feeling much better, she said.
Oh, right on, Sandra. Good.
Yeah.
She had COVID and she has a upper respiratory infection.
Oh, on top of it?
Yeah.
Damn.
And she said that she's back to eating solid foods and stuff like that. And she wants to thank everybody that's in chat and all these things that she always comes in to thank you. And God, thank you for the prayers. And she says she loves everyone you know.
Right on. I'm glad, glad she's doing better.
Still lifting up Joe Snyder too, after losing his best friend of 40-some years, David, last week. Had to go through burying him and having a funeral and being around all that this past week. So I know I see he's got a show scheduled this week. He's trying to get back into the rhythm of it, you know.
He was here earlier. He's still here.
I mean, I just, the guy is such a great guy that, you know, I've tried to lift him up, but in the process, I haven't really slowed down on busting his balls every chance I get, just because, you know, it's too easy.
I think on Thursday we picked him up a little bit.
Yeah. I had mentioned earlier in the chat that I told him, I said, I think Moog's installed a breathalyzer on the chat invite deal here, so, you know, you might not make it in tonight. I don't know.
Hey, Lockbeard. Do you see what the fuck Mike said?
I was just going to put something up and I forget.
He said, what, my nemesis hurt her back?
Yeah. I think she was carrying around all the bullshit you threw at her.
You know what else I like about here is we can discuss, you know, plug other things we've seen on YouTube. And for instance, one of your guests here right now has his own channel, you know, comes on and lets people learn about it. At Joe's channel, the Western New York
I've been supporting any channel.
I think it's awesome. Because I honestly believe that some of the best researchers you will find online exist in these smaller groups that really have intimate discussions when it comes to the subject, you know. if you go by subscribers, I mean, you cannot. There's some very large YouTube channels
look at
that
my
discuss Bigfoot that have giant subscriber rates. And as far as I'm concerned, the content they cover really it doesn't do much at all. You know, I mean,
well, I mean,
it's just entertainment. It's spectacular entertainment, but it's not. It doesn't get into the science of it or the
Jeff, I was just gonna say, like the whole Finding Bigfoot shows, they're the biggest of the biggest of the biggest when it comes to our stuff, really, in terms of viewership, and 10 seasons and they still haven't.
Yeah, and it's just Hollywoodized.
That's
the
really entertainment part.
Yeah,
and I've learned some of that working closely with Doug Hychek. I mean, he produced a couple hundred episodes of Monster Quest. And I spend so much time.
Is that Doug's claim to fame? I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, he produced Legend Meets Science. I mean, Jeff Meldrum wrote the book Legend Meets Science, and Doug produced the documentary Legend Meets Science.
Right on.
That was in 2003, something like that. That kind of launched him into it. He did a lot of stuff for nature type, the bear research he did. He was the first one to photograph the giant squid on an episode. They had cameras down. They knew these things likely existed. Nobody had ever seen one.
I've seen that photo.
And they had a camera in something that they were trying to get it to chase, and they photographed it. They have a video of it chasing it. And that was the first time science had to acknowledge the things exist. So he captured that. And then he did a couple hundred episodes of Monster Quest. And even he will tell you, Monster Quest, every episode, they had to vet they weren't going to produce a show, one episode, without vetting it and trying to figure out make sure it's authentic. But even the Hollywoodizing of it, I mean, you're watching somebody standing in the woods listening for something and you hear the haunting music in the background. It's like, dude, I just want to hear what you're hearing, right?
Yeah, I don't want to hear
I don't need the drum beats in the background. But that's just part of a lot of these shows.
I'll be right back.
The Hollywoodizing of it.
All right, who's making all this noise? I'm just going to start muting mics at random. I think it was Paulie's. Yeah, I think it's Paulie's.
All right, wait a minute.
It's Paulie's lips smacking while he's eating some chicken, is what it sounds like.
Jeff, listen, I was just going to fucking compliment you on how amazing your story was. And you come up with some stupid ass shit like that. Stop.
Okay, I apologize. I apologized in advance for something I said earlier. I knew that.
Dude, I saw you on Joe's show the other night. Your story was amazing. It was like Kerry's story the first time I heard it. I had heard his voice, and I'm like, dude, this guy sounds so freaking familiar, right? So I'm looking at Crack Wheelchair going, fucking shut it, dude. No shit, right? Oh, it's him. And then you were on, dude, that story was amazing. Dude, the way you recalled all that. And you know what? I'm being serious right now. I'm not trying to be funny. Dude, I was like, holy shit, man. He went through some fucking, wow. And that dude knew that fucking island, too. That was just funny when you told me. He's like, oh, that island and the other island?
Yeah. There's so many intricacies to it that because the encounter was so prolonged, right? And not taking away from anybody else's encounters they have, but when you see something from 300 yards away for 5 seconds, walks into the trees, it's like, could it have been this? Could have been that. My encounter just was drug out. It happened on this trail. I got this log thrown at me, got injured, ended up getting in the boat with the 2 other people that was with me. And as we backed away, it walks on the beach. We see it again for, a half a minute to a minute, and it's just, it was the kind of encounter in which it's not hard to recall what happened, what it looked like, all of that.
Jeff, you know why that is? Is because it was authentic. It really happened to you. And you were more worried about your friends and, your family, whatever it is. You were more concerned about them than you were about yourself. That's how I know you ain't bullshit. No
well, I can recall the whole encounter over an hour, taking people on a journey about what happened, every detail of it. But you want to talk about the part that really breaks me up.
My pants sitting there. I'm like, Man, I hope that Taco Bell doesn't come out right now.
The part that really gets me emotional when I share it was the part of one of my best friends that I was with, his little brother Jamie. We were 18 and his little brother was 14. And I share with people that my sons right now are 16, 17 years old. They're 10 months apart, but I think about where they were at 13 and 14 at junior high age maturity wise, and I look at where they're at now as young men. I mean, this affected me and Paul probably similar to how it would affect us as adults, but for Jamie, I mean, he was in a complete emotional breakdown as this was drawing out for so long. And when I share the encounter, that's the part that really gets me emotional, is when I think about how absolutely distraught that Jamie was throughout this thing. It's hard for me to talk about it without really thinking about that.
Yeah, that was a really touching part of that story. That he was that devastated, and
Hey, Joe.
Joe, how are you?
Hey, man. I'm all right.
Hey, Joe.
Just wanted to pop on, say a couple of things in answer to a few things I've just heard. Number one, all you motherfuckers are crazy. Number two, thank you. I'll say thank you again. Thank you for those kind words, Jeff. And thank you to everybody in chat, because a lot of people that are in this chat, I see them in my chats and etc.
Right.
So, and I've been saying that a lot here.
I didn't see these people backstage. What's up, Iron? Sorry, Joe.
Iron!
And there she is.
Hi.
Paulie, I'll get to you in a sec. Hold on. There he is.
I'm doing the dogger.
Do the dogger.
That's right. So thanks everybody in chat and all that other
Holy
stuff.
crap!
Man.
Father Time and Jackie.
I will be saying that for a long time. Also, Jeff, about your point about saying like, oh, that's odd, and somebody jumping all over you. Look, this is the Bigfoot community. When you're talking about people that have some deeply held beliefs, a lot of people are going to get butthurt no matter how you put something.
Yeah.
They're going to take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody.
That's right. You can't please everybody. And I think, and I've heard this, so I'm only going to bring it up, and I'm not saying that you guys are getting down on it, but I've heard a lot of people recently, a few other times, other people are talking about, well, I don't like the entertainment part of big. You know what? I think it can be entertaining and informative at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And so,
that's what I'm trying to do.
No, I agree. I
mean,
don't think I'm not getting down on the entertainment. It's that.
No, I know.
But when you get into the entertainment part of like Finding Bigfoot or some of those shows,
and that's not what I'm. Yeah, that's not what I'm. Yeah, I don't consider that. I'm not.
That's not even.
I'm not considering that into the entertainment part.
No offense to the people involved.
Not Finding Bigfoot. Matt Moneymaker can. Well, never mind.
Like my
big fat
whatever.
Anyway, and Joe, man, I wish I could come to that thing, man. I wish I could, but
come on up. We'll feed you.
I don't realize there were that many people going. Damn.
I don't think I can make it. I wish I could.
I'll have a beer for you.
Oh, I bet you will.
I know, man.
Oh, you have to.
And look, I'd bring some Jenny too. You know I would.
Hey.
What, Genesee, you cheap bastard? It's like $3 for a 38 pack.
It used to be. It
still is, Joe.
No, now that it's more popular, it's more like $4.02.
$4.99.
I'm calling bullshit, because the 12 horses that pulled that fucking wagon won't even do it now. They're unions. They won't do it for under $38 an hour.
Hi, Christy. Christy's here.
Well, I know that you guys know. I just want to say hello, Jackie. It's good to see you. I'm glad that you're here and okay. And it doesn't matter that you're not a major part of the show, but the warden just came out and gave me the fucking look of Medusa. She was like, "Oh, I was gonna turn the stone right there." I saw the snake heads moving in the hair, and she's like, "I don't fucking think so. Get off the damn phone, fool. I gotta work in the morning."
Yeah, somebody's the real deal just said, "Who is crushing a beer can?" Somebody's Yeah, there's nice
That
kind
was
of.
Joe past that drunk. He was just doing it. I saw his.
Hey, I poured mine. in a
Joe,
cup
you're not a
for my
ventriloquist.
way.
Don't do that.
I'm
I'm
drinking
not
coffee.
crushing
I'm
I
drinking
Flat rock.
responded and it sounded like it came from Minnesota. Don't do that.
Hey, I gotta say this. Harold a while ago said there's no beauty on the show, and I got offended by that. And then Iron Dog popped. So
What did he say? Harold Denton. What did he say?
Harold, he said there's no beauty on the show tonight, and now Iron
Oh,
Dog. So he must be
Well,
happy.
earlier,
don't
Earlier-
want to get your
come on
ass
in and show
banned
us
from
your
this
pretty
show, there,
colors, huh?
Harold.
Get
Chill.
up on here. Be on the lineup like the police are looking at you. Is that the guy that took your wallet? Is it Harold? Did he take it? Did he take it? Is it that guy right there with the 5 o'clock shadow and the bad trim goatee? Is that him? All right, kids. Gotta go. See ya.
take care,
Okay.
Paul.
Well,
Have a good one.
You know, it was funny because earlier when in chat there was like, there may still be because I'm not looking at it right now, but there was like 75 people watching at the moment. I'm thinking to myself, Jackie isn't even on here, and there's 75 people. What the hell's going on? You know?
oh, thanks a lot, dude.
Well, I mean, you know.
Fuck you very much. What?
I mean, if there was 65, I'd get it, but 75? I mean, it's like,
There's
And
no.
believe me,
Well, see, that's the thing is you got to understand they're not in chat. There's 70 people watching right now. How many are in chat? I don't know, but there's
Yeah.
not all 70. Well, now there's 73, but I can't tell from the StreamYard side. But if I had YouTube pulled up, I could tell like how many are in chat.
well, the chat is just as entertaining as anything that's happening here.
Chat is amazing.
So, I mean, if you
Yeah.
haven't discovered where the live chat button is and you're watching this right now, you're missing out.
Harold says,
the
"Love
best
this
part of it, too."
dysfunctional group chat."
How you feeling,
we-
Jackie?
Yeah, how
So-
you figure?
Yeah,
Sore.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't. How long were you sitting there? Because I was like, I didn't see.
Not long.
Okay,
Not long.
good.
No.
Because
You
I
getting
had.
a steroid shot?
What's that?
You getting a steroid shot in your back?
Probably next week.
So
Oh,
was there something that just happened that spurred this to feel that way, or is it just you've been so active out in the woods and on the remote playground that it just caught up to you?
Yeah, no, my back is mutilated. The whole lower lumbar is completely trashed. I've got over 8 herniated discs, stenosis, all sorts of. It's bad in there.
She's been away from her husband too long.
Yeah, I've been.
Well, we were making a list of questions to ask you last
Oh, okay.
week when you were out in the woods and you weren't on here.
Oh,
We had just random weird stuff. We thought, hey, like, can you buy a watermelon in Alaska?
Yeah.
You can?
yeah, they
You
grow
go
here.
to the grocery store, they got like a huge box full of watermelons on a pallet.
Yeah,
Huh.
No,
yeah. We don't live in igloos. I mean,
Well, no, I
There are
get
polar
that. I'm
bears.
just
Why
I'm just
not?
trying to figure out how cost effective it is to ship a
Why not?
freaking semi of watermelons to Alaska. You know, how bad do they need them up there?
I'd
Yeah.
live in an igloo.
Well,
it's.
go ahead.
Yeah, I did a little video on the prices because before the prices in Alaska were dramatically different. Like there was $7 gallons of milk, but you can get that. Like that is still a problem further out. You know,
Yeah.
like that is not a lie at all. And I will do some other ones as I go into other places to show those price increases just a little bit further out from the main city. You know, but yeah, because the cost of shipping stuff up here, you know, they truck mainly a lot of things up here, and we've got a lot of farmland up here. You know, I'm hoping to get to the fair. I'm hoping to get to the fair and show you. Like we've got huge pumpkins that require forklifts to lift them. Like, you know, so we've got produce and stuff that we can that grows up here in greenhouses and stuff like that. But before, when we had to get this crap shipped up here, it would ripen on the truck. And so like vegetables and fruits were not as
It's just a
fresh.
shorter growing seasons, probably
Yeah.
too, for the things they can produce there.
Yeah. Everything The big stuff they have to start in a greenhouse, you know.
Yeah.
My first
Like,
girlfriend,
like the weed. They
my
got
first girlfriend was like that. You needed a forklift to move her. So
Turn into a
I
pump.
was reading this thing on
you never know who your first love is going to be. You know.
I was reading an
He's
article on, and yeah, you realize this isn't legal everywhere yet. It actually isn't where I'm at. But you know, when it comes to weed, the growing length, they had in I'm trying to remember if it was Greenland or Iceland. They had found a strain that was growing there. They call it autoflower because it can grow in a pot in a dark closet with no light, and it does it in like 60 days from beginning to end because it got used to growing in such a short growing season. It didn't need sunlight, didn't need all these things. And it's amazing, not just with wheat, but I mean with a lot of things that you see grown down in the central United States, southern United States. They're figuring out ways to grow it in Alaska just by creating these hybrids that take shorter time frames to come to harvest. But
Did somebody just say weed?
Weed.
So anyways, I got the link online where you can order these autoflower seeds, Joe. You can grow them in your closet, you know. I've never tried it yet, but
They've been around for a while now.
oh yeah, you can order them for like $13 a packet.
I can't grow anything, man. I kill everything, man.
Not a green.
That's why I'm not a farmer, man. Me and dirt don't get along.
You got a little something on. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, probably.
I have raised garden beds. I mean, I grow tomatoes and make salsa. I grow cucumbers and canned dill pickles, and my neighbors grow green beans. So they give me bags full of green beans. I pickle those with like ghost peppers in them, dill green beans. All my friends put them in their Bloody Marys and shit like that. But
don't they call them Billy beans?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, here's something that has absolutely nothing to do with Sasquatch. My mother used to make bread and excuse me, bread and butter pickles, and she would put onions in them.
Yeah, I do that too.
And I loved that. But everywhere I go to look and try to buy some bread and butter pickles, there's no onions in them.
Yeah.
And I'm
You know why specifically why I can bread and butter pickles. I'll put up a dozen quarts of them a year. Is one, you slice them up. You know, you're not canning the whole pickle. I cut them into chunks or slices. Put the, and it's like a sweet brine. Okay, it's not real salty. It's sweet. Right. You got the allspice type in there.
Yeah.
But also, I put onions in there because it's really not oniony. The onions get real sweet after they've been pickled in it. But I'll take the pickles and onions out, drain them, put them on a cutting board, and chop them up, and mix in mayo, mustard, a little sugar, and make my own tartar sauce for when we fry fish. And that sweet bread and butter pickle in there with that vinegary type mustardy tartar sauce, it's really kind of good. But
making me hungry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Damn.
I know.
Fuck.
When I was in
3
Wyoming,
minutes left, bastard. What?
When I was in Wyoming, I stopped at a place called the Mangy Moose, and they had nachos there. And
in Laramie, or where was it?
It's Hill City.
Okay, that's in South Dakota yet.
I mean South Dakota. I'm sorry.
I live in South Dakota. I have a home in northern Minnesota and South Dakota. I was gonna say I've been to the Mangy Moose. I have a Mangy Moose T-shirt.
I love
Hill City.
And they put them pickled onions on the nachos. God, that was damn good stuff, boy. That was good.
Yeah.
Did I say Wyoming? Did I say Wyoming?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just came out seeing Mount Rushmore, and we came up to the Mangy Moose.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a name like Mangy Moose, you know it's got to be a 5-star restaurant.
Oh, it's a bar. It's a bar. It's like a biker bar, but they have
but it's got some good food though.
I mean, every bar out there is kind of a biker bar because of Sturgis, you know.
When you come down from Sturgis, they go from Mount Rushmore right up to Sturgis.
If I see a restaurant called the Dirty Spoon, I'm going in there. because they probably got some good food.
Years ago, I was in an ice fishing tournament in Wisconsin, and we went to this supper club. It was called the Supper Club. I thought it'd be nice, right? It was called the Dirty Turtle. And that night, I seen the girl bartending was coughing a lot. And the next day, all 4 of the guys I was there in this ice fishing tournament, we were all sick. And within 2 days, we all went and got tested, and we had swine flu. We had actually came down with the swine flu. That it was like 8-9 years ago, and that was the big thing.
Turtle wasn't the only thing that was dirty, huh?
The Dirty Turtle. Yeah.
Where in Wisconsin?
One sick bartender can take out a whole fucking town. I'll tell you that right now.
Especially in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Where was this in Wisconsin?
So it was. I'm trying to remember. It was on. God, trying to remember the name of the town. A friend of mine lived there, and he's passed away since.
Where was you were? It was a fishing.
It's only about an hour into Wisconsin from Minnesota, right on the interstate, going right, south of the cities on what is it, I-90 as it goes across into Wisconsin.
You cross over into Prescott.
Yeah, so once you cross the river over there, it's not too far from there, and just north of there was a lake that this big tournament was on.
Well, that bridge that you cross over from Wisconsin, from Minnesota into Wisconsin in Prescott there, I fished that underneath the bridge. I used to live in Prescott.
Yeah.
There's some killer fish in there.
Yeah.
Mike says Somerset, Wisconsin.
You dropped the link again, I think. We needed Daily Dan's ready to come on.
Oh, Troy. We're just kidding, Dan.
He's had some
Here we go.
crazy.
Yeah, I know. He wanted to tell a story, and I thought he would have been on by now.
Let's don't forget about Journey over there. He's quiet.
I think Journey fell asleep.
I haven't met Journey. Hi, Journey.
Oh, hi, nice to meet you. I heard about you. So you did the Alaska race, correct?
Yes, Iron
Oh,
Dog.
that's awesome. Yeah.
I talk too much. Sorry.
Hey, Jackie, do you have any pictures of that?
Yeah.
She's got some pictures of it on her page too, or on your thing.
Yeah.
You have a couple videos of where you're walking through the shop and showing.
I just went to Iron Dog headquarters. Missy and I are going to get together here pretty soon and go through the photo albums together. And we're supposed to pull a collage, and we're supposed to have made a collage. We were supposed to have already had it made for Iron Dog.
Missy was her partner in the
my
Iron
race
Dog.
partner.
Yeah.
So we're the only women's pro class team to finish. Other women have finished, but we're the only women's team.
Oh, that's awesome.
Finished.
Congratulations.
Greetings, YouTube.
What's up?
I love the video of the squirrel.
I had to wait to say that because it's rude to interrupt the lady when she's speaking.
Aw, too sweet.
I'd have interrupted her any of the rest of you clowns, but not her.
Dan. Hi, buddy.
So how's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Can't complain.
Good to see all y'all. I figured it was about time for the main event.
Here we go.
Somebody to come on and tell y'all a real story about what happened to me this week. Well, I guess it's last week now. It ain't this week. It's last week. I was out doing an investigation where somebody said they had saw a dogman type creature. And I'm stalking through the woods and hawking through the woods, talking to the camera the way I usually do. You know how I go. And I thought I saw something. And I said, I thought I saw something move. You know, if anybody sees anything, let me know in the comments, and I'm rolling along. And as I went up this hill, I swear to God, I saw what looked to me like a giant wolf standing straight up in the air. Big pointed ass ears sticking up, you know. And it didn't look like dog man. It didn't look like a werewolf. It looked like a giant, maybe a giant red wolf. And it was the color kind of tan like a deer.
On all fours, or?
No, it was standing straight the hell up.
Oh, really?
And as I rolled my camera around and locked in on it, I said, damn, there it goes. And just when I said that, this damn thing dropped down on all fours and took off faster than I ever saw anything move in my life. like a shot, like a speeding bullet, maybe just quick. But the good part is, thanks to the guy from Florida telling me always keep a camera rolling. This time, unlike last time I saw something, the camera was rolling, and I caught the damn thing on film, on video, and you can see that video on the Danny Staton channel. Because I didn't have the damn blog up, I was using the other phone.
So the video's hard to tell, but how far away was it?
About 75 yards, 70 yards.
Okay.
I just got to throw
it happened so fast. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to zoom it in real close, and I was on a wide exposure, but you can still see the thing running through the woods.
Dan, hold that thought for a second. Gypsy Road was just in backstage. I went to bring you up, and it's as soon as I clicked on you, it said device is not connected. I didn't not try to bring you on, so just check your
That's who Connor goes live with, right? Don't they do?
I believe so.
Yeah, I was with them last week.
I just pressed on, and he disappeared. So if you're out there, dude, come on. You can come back. I'll put the link in chat again.
Wasn't on purpose.
Hey, Joe.
Okay, sorry.
Hey, Dan.
I said, hey, Joe, and I'm sorry about your loss.
Thank you.
Oh, that Joe.
Yeah,
but it makes me feel actually good this time that I actually caught something on camera I can talk about. I don't like to come in and talk about something I saw that I can't prove.
No, I'm anxious to see it, to be honest with you, because I like it up in northern Minnesota where I spend most of my time in research. We don't have a number of dogman encounters. A lot of Sasquatch encounters, but not a lot of dogman encounters. So I'm always enthralled to I understand it's a kind of a phenomena on its own, but geographically, we kind of get used to Sasquatch kind of being represented all over in sightings, but dogmen we don't see quite as spread out. It's just so common down south of here more than it is up here. So I'm always interested in trying to learn more about it.
I'm lucky. I live in South Carolina. We got everything. We got a dog man. We've got a Bigfoot, and most of all, we got the lizard man. So we've got 3 or 4 different,
and a Mothman.
That's West Virginia.
Yeah.
Swear to God, this dude over here just come on. Looks like Terry Funk, the wrestler, on the camera.
What's up, man?
Hey, Joe. Real quick. What date is that again?
The Squatch out?
Yeah.
The 4th and the 5th.
The 4th and the 5th of September.
Labor Day weekend.
Okay. I will be up there Friday night and be leaving Monday morning sometime.
Actually, me and my wife had that. Wow.
We're going to try to feed everybody once, but everybody else, if you want to eat more than once, which I do, bring your own.
Usually.
So if I can, I'd like to ask another question about your video. You said it was kind of a rusty color or kind of a red color, you felt? Or this
I would put it more to a tan color.
Yeah.
Like a not quite the color of a deer.
Yeah.
But maybe a little darker and a tan looking.
A little deeper look to it.
Can I ask you guys about the colors? With the colors that I hear of these Bigfoots, have you noticed stories that in different states they might have a darker color, like maybe in Washington, a lighter color in certain states? Have you heard anything like that?
I think you got colors that they run the spectrum regardless. I think geographically you have size differences, and there are reasons for that. I believe. I mean,
Bergman's
not
law.
just possibly genetics, but also. When the encounter that I had, it was over 10 foot tall and over 1,000 pounds up in Manitoba. But you're talking about a creature that can remain elusive without probably burning a lot of calories in that deep of a forest, that remote of an area. Whereas a Bigfoot in Florida or Oklahoma or South Carolina, to remain elusive, the amount of mobility it would take. I mean, it just doesn't make sense that in that heat, in that climate, in that the mobility it would take to stay elusive, it doesn't make sense that they'd grow 10 foot tall and 1,000 pounds. I mean, I get that. Probably for the main reason that when I lived in Alabama, we'd shoot white-tailed deer that some of them had very impressive racks, but the bodies of the deer were about the size of a German Shepherd, you know. And up here, I shoot a white-tailed deer that's breaking 300 pounds up here. I mean, it's just the same deer, the same genetics of deer, but same species, but they just grow differently. Different feed, different climate.
Well, it wasn't too long ago. It wasn't too long ago, maybe a month or so, that I actually saw a Bigfoot creature myself. I had my own sighting. Unfortunately, I did not get it on camera, so that kind of ruined my day. But what I saw looked like an NBA basketball player, I'd say, for size-wise, real thin and real slanky. This son of a bitch looked hungry.
Yeah.
He looked like he was like the starving Bigfoot.
But you know, up here in northern Minnesota,
and Joe, you can tell Molly, I saw his great big long ding dong swinging too when he was running. So I'm sure this one was a male.
I'll let you tell her. Yeah, no, I mean, as far as I've heard over the years, I mean, the hair color seems to run the gamut just as like ours does.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, I mean, the one I saw was dark brown, almost to be called black hair, really.
The same as mine.
I think it was just really, really dark brown, and the day was overcast, so it made it look darker than it probably actually was too. But
a few months ago,
I mean, you get blonde, you get red, you get straw colored, you get, you know, black. I mean, white sometimes, gray. I mean, it seems to run the gamut. And you know what? If they're close to being some sort of a human being, that would make sense anyway. But anyhow, so look, I gotta go. Thanks, Mogs. Thanks, Joe.
Take care.
Joe, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in.
I love you. Thanks, man. Gypsy, nice to see you. Jeff, thanks. We'll talk again.
Yep.
Everybody in
Come
chat,
on, Joe.
love you guys.
Come on out.
Hey,
To
and don't forget, don't sweat the petty stuff. And don't pet the sweaty stuff.
I like petting sweaty stuff.
But what he was saying about the color, if y'all look back on my channel, I put up some pictures that a farmer took of this hairy creature, and it looks more reddish. You saw them pictures, Dogger.
Yeah. And then you had one that was like a gray almost.
Yeah. So you get the different colors.
I was listening to an encounter tonight that somebody was explaining in detail. That was jet black, but the back had like a lighter whitish grayish look in parts of its back, and on the back of the calves it had like a gray, dusty gray color to it. And you know, it could be age that causes that. I mean, it could just be genetic. I mean, the same thing with deer and other creatures. You have piebald creatures that have blotchy patterns in the fur. It's not out of the realm to think that these creatures that aren't all one color, but a combination of, well, it had red hair on its chest but black on its head or something like that, that could be, you know, something that is genetic. It's something that they're going to pass on probably.
I had a lady report a Bigfoot sighting to me last year, and I did a video on it. You could probably look that up, but she said the damn thing looked like it had mange.
Yeah. Well, I think you see that in the South probably quite a bit. I mean, the heat, they're going to adjust for the heat. I hear recollections in the South that most of these encounters, when they're describing not so much the hair off the arms, because I think they're fairly long everywhere, but when they start talking about the hair on the head and the hair on the tops of the shoulders, it's relatively short for a lot of reports that are coming from these real hot climates. And yet up here, the one I saw had hair like freaking Keith Urban. I mean, it was like hanging over the side of his face, you know? I mean, it's just different. And you got to think that heat and cold are going to affect how thick a fur coat would be, just like any animal it would.
When I had my sighting, what I saw did not look like it had long hair. It looked like it had more like the fur on a dog.
Yeah.
But the picture the farmer took, which is roughly in the same, within 10 miles of each other, was shaggy and hairy and covered.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if anybody has questions, please put them in caps, and I'll be sure to get them.
And I was wondering if anybody can answer this in chat that might know. could that be possibly a difference in sexes? Like the males may have longer hair than the females, and the females may have shorter hair.
Well, I think Mogs is living proof that a guy can grow his hair just as long as a girl can. I mean,
Indeed.
well, it's all tucked up under the hat. You can't tell, but my hair's a lot longer than it.
You see a lot more guys going bald, though, than you see women going bald. That's a scientific fact. So,
exactly, and that's my point about the sexes of Bigfoot. Maybe, just maybe, the hair length is an indicator of the sex.
Well,
it's possible.
There's probably other indicators that would be more obvious if you got close enough, but as Molly could tell us. But
I got close enough. Trust me, there's one real big indicator.
Let me pick your guys' brain for a second. I'm actually doing a live show tomorrow. Well, actually, I'm doing a live show in 15 minutes, but I'm doing a live show tomorrow on international Bigfoots, the ones outside of the United States. What do we know about the ones like, I don't know, in Europe? You know,
talking about outside of North America overall.
Yeah, like the Yaren and
the Australian encounters and
isn't the Scottish one like Amliath Moor or something?
I have no idea.
Well, one of my research partners, Doug Hychek, will tell you that in his mind, that just like most animals that you can trace back through fossil identification and stuff like that in North America, especially northern animals like polar bears, caribou, things like that, probably migrated over the landmass into North America and probably didn't necessarily maybe evolve here. Now, some of them did, obviously, but they ended up here after starting, really being prevalent centuries earlier somewhere else. And so people will say, well, how could that exist in, Belgium, or how could that exist in Australia? There's oceans between these continents, right? I mean, it's not feasible but that's the same thing to say there's red deer.
We're connected at one time, millions of years ago. So before it broke up, we were connected.
Yeah.
Who says Bigfoot doesn't go all the way back from the,
I mean, if you look at the genetics of red deer in the UK and out in Europe, and you in Russia and stuff, and you look at the genetics of elk here, if you break down their DNA, there's a lot of commonalities between the two. They look very similar to anybody who's looking at the two species.
Oh, like a red deer in New Zealand.
That they started from scratch and evolved to where they are now, completely separate from each other, and were never connected in some way. I don't know how realistic that would be.
No, that doesn't make sense. I mean, because when you get things like the platypus, that is strictly Australia.
Yeah.
All right, but like the deer in New Zealand or the deer here, there's got to be some sort of bond or
sure. And not to back up too far, but when you were talking about hair colors, I will note one interesting thing, except for a couple samples that I've looked at geographically from down south, which could simply be just that they were mistaken and they're not actually Sasquatch hair. But as Doug and myself and others up here are working on this DNA project, we've looked at samples geographically from different areas. And one thing that's really interesting is an individual that you'll describe as red, an individual that I would describe when I see a different species, a different specimen that's like almost black, dark chocolate colored, and one that you would even say was kind of gray in appearance. If you took all of those hair samples and you start looking at them closely and you start examining the absence of medulla in them, they have a transparent look. A brown one and a black one and a gray one up close in light starts to appear like it's watered down whiskey. Like you can see through it. Like there is a little color there, but it looks almost clear in some areas. And then there's parts of the strands where there'll be a little more of a brown tinge than others, or a little darker tinge than others. And what's interesting is these samples do not look that different from each other, but collectively on the species, they do appear different. I mean, just you get enough of those hairs, enough of that shading starts showing collectively differently. So when you say a black one and a brown one or a reddish colored one, I would say that when you look at one hair sample from each of those very closely, because of these transparent features that we're seeing and the lack of a core color in medulla, that they don't differ that much. They really don't. An authentic one, from what we've been able to tell from past DNA studies and the ones we're doing now with a university, is that the scaling around the diameter of the shaft of the hair, a human will have 6 or 7 scales around the shaft of the hair. Every suspected Sasquatch hair sample that we've looked at, that when it's tested, it comes up as not a known primate, but it's shown in the mitochondrial DNA and the nuclear DNA. There's human elements and strains in it. They all have 5 scales around the diameter, not 6 or 7. Every one of them has 5 scales around the diameter. So that's one of the first things when we get a hair sample, before we even start doing the whole breakdown of DNA, save the 10 grand and figure out, is there a 5 scale structure around the diameter? Because if there is, now you've got something we're sure isn't human. So, but just to touch on the color part of it, like I say, I mean, I see these hairs and you ask the witnesses, what color was it, or did you see it, or whatever. They'll say it was black, and you look at the hair and it looks almost clear with just a little bit of a charcoal hue to it. And you'll hear somebody say red, and I'm telling you, you got to look close to pick them out from each other. It isn't like a redhead. Like if I took one of Jackie's hairs and one of my hairs, you'd look at the two and say, that's hers, that's yours. Easy, right? It's not easy looking at these. It really isn't.
Now, I've always had the theory myself that they could change colors like a chameleon, that their hairs would be similar like that because they have the ability to change their hair color to blend into whatever their surroundings are.
Scientists believe that with polar bears and some other animals up in the Arctic, that because of these whiteout blinding winter conditions that they exist in, that perhaps their hair really isn't white. But now that they've studied it, most science has kind of gotten on the same page that they can't do that. That
oh, you can't always do science.
The idea was that because of this, the way their hair structure was, that they're reflecting like a mirror. They're reflecting what's around them, and it's changing how their hair appears. That from a visual, from how we with our human eyes would recognize how it looks different. A polar bear standing on a gray rock versus standing on white snow might not look as white on the rock, just because it's not reflecting in its hair what's around it. I think there's some truth to that, but
Well, I've heard down here in Florida from people like Mark Zaski, who's been researching in Florida for years, the same spot for like 7 years, that they show up green because of the absorbing the colors around them.
It makes sense, right?
Polar bears are hollow haired,
Yeah,
and that reflects the light sources around them and whatever's. But you're not going to see a green polar bear when they're out trotting along the tundra.
Oh no.
No, but as the polar bears migrate further into Canada and come down south, they do mate with other bears and practically breed the polar out of them. They become hybridized with grizzlies in some cases, and they look a lot different.
They're called Pisleys.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. They're pretty scary.
You're starting to see that now with the wolf populations too. I mean, in the past you had gray wolves and you had some that looked red and this and that, and you'd have some that had a black back with a gray side. But now with the coyotes and the wolves interbreeding and coy wolves being fairly common now around the upper Midwest and up into Canada, the one thing that I've noticed is I see wolves almost every other time I'm out in my research area. I'll either hear them or see them, and I see all different colors of wolves now. I mean, I'll see a black one with a white one with a gray one they're just all over the board, and that just kind of doesn't seem that uncommon now. But if you would have looked at it 100 years ago and read these accounts of trappers and things like that, they did not range in color as much as they do now. It's like you can't say that for an animal to adapt in 100 years. 100 years is like a camera flash in time compared to how most animals evolve and adapt over time. But through breeding, that can take place within a few generations. Like when you're saying polar bears and grizzlies and things like that, I mean, you could have an area where you've never seen polar bears, and all of a sudden you've got all these grizzlies that appear to be partially piebald, and then pretty soon you've got polar bears that have blotches on them, and it's like, wait a minute here,
If you saw me laughing, I was watching the chat. That Polly boy.
Yeah, I was laughing at him too, Dan. He's something else, man.
Hey, man,
So-
let me ask, Mongolian Monster, do you guys do this like every Tuesday, or you just do a live show when you want to?
No, I do it every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern and every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, that's awesome.
2-hour shows. Yeah,
Connor
we've been
told
doing
me
this.
about this channel, so what I'm seeing so far is fantastic. I would love to come back on Thursday because I know somebody in the chat was asking if I could tell a story, but I gotta go start my live show on my small channel next.
So plug your channel. What's your small channel you're doing?
Well, I have a main channel. I have a Gypsy Road channel. That's my main one. That's the one I'm doing the Bigfoot show tomorrow, and I'm doing an Otterman creature, the Devil Shipper on Friday. So on Tuesday, Thursday, I have a horror talk channel where I do horror talk movies, and Connor, Bigfoot Anonymous, he comes on there. He's my co-host, and we just talk about whatever on Tuesday and Thursday.
Right on.
So we do a mix of everything.
So yeah, no, Thursday you want to come on and tell us some stories. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Beyond that, I got to go start my other channel, but I want to thank you guys for letting me jump on real quick.
It was nice meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you, dude.
See you again.
Right on.
I'm looking forward to hearing what he's got to say.
What's that?
I said I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say.
Absolutely.
I still have some questions for you, Dan.
Ones that you're able to ask in front of everybody, or
of course. So
I'll tell you what, I gotta watch when I'm drinking a beer when people on the show say stuff, because I'm about to spit it all over the screen.
Come out your nose.
Right? Full spray. How fast did that look to run because it almost looked like a vehicle. Like
it was going fast like a car. I would say 35, 40 miles an hour, easy. If not more. It went from a standing position to down and gone out of sight in 5-6 seconds. If you've seen the video, you see how fast it was moving. Huh?
And there was no road there, right?
No, it was in the woods.
No vocalization.
The nearest road would be at about 75 to 80 yards past where I was at. Maybe 100 yards.
No vocalization at all, Dan? Or?
I heard nothing.
Did you stop?
You know, usually if something like if your deer is running through the woods or a bear or something's running through the woods, my old ears can pick that up and I can hear the movement. At 75 yards, I can still hear a deer run through the woods, but I heard nothing.
Did you look?
That may have been because my excitement was overflowing at the time, and I'm like, there he goes, and I was ecstatic that I was actually catching something on camera. Usually it's just footprints and tree structures and maybe, and I'm really good at catching vocals, by the way. If you watch my videos, I've got some stuff where there's some wolves howling. You can hear something howling with the wolves. I've caught some horrible sounds up close and personal right in my damn backyard. And I've caught whoops and other noises. As a matter of fact, on one of my other videos I put out, right when I go into the woods, you can hear this horrible sound a couple of times off in the woods. It was
That's one thing I was actually kind of grateful for with my encounter that I had, only being 18 and being 15 feet away from something that was that big. When it threw that log at me, had it screeched or howled or something, I mean, it was already taking every muscle in my asshole not to shit my pants, I mean, I can't, I heard it exhale, I mean, like that when it threw it, but I mean, people will say all the time, did you hear it scream? Did you hear it howl? Did you hear? It didn't really do anything audibly other than make its presence known and keep escalating up its actions until I actually left, But
when I had my first Bigfoot encounter, unfortunately, I was only 11 years old. And I was in the woods by myself taking pictures of birds and shit, like nature photography. My mom's a photographer, and she got me into taking pictures when I was really young. She liked to go on paranormal investigations and look for ghosts. She was a ghost hunter in my younger days. So she got me into photography, and I decided I was going to do nature, like birds and beavers and squirrels and all that cool stuff, right? So I went out through the woods to taking the pictures, just being a nature photographer.
Bigfoot wasn't on your list.
11 years old, I come across a valley, and up on a hill, I saw what I thought was a bear. But as I looked closer, I could tell it was more like a giant ape. A large creature. I mean, I'm 11 years old. I guess to me it might have looked bigger, but what I was seeing was 10 foot tall and a monster. And right as we locked eyes, it saw me when I saw it. And we kind of stared each other down. It wasn't 55, 60 yards away from me up a hill. And what scared the hell out of me is it started coming down the hill right towards me. But being the young man I was, all brave and ballsy, I jumped up, took a fucking picture before I turned around and started running. I got that picture, and I showed people for years and years I had that picture. And unfortunately, my house burned up in 2011 at a bad house fire, and a lot of my stuff got burned up. And the picture was in the stuff that got burned up. But that was my first encounter with a Bigfoot, and it was, to me, at 7 years old, it was in 1976, was a horrifying experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the time I was 14 years old, I wouldn't go in the woods without a damn gun. And I still don't like to go in the woods without a gun.
Yeah, I don't like to either. They were talking about that in chat earlier, too. I mean, I kayak a long ways into my research site, and I carry a pistol with me everywhere. In my truck, in a restaurant, in Walmart, everywhere. I just carry it concealed everywhere. And I carry it when I kayak into my site, but because of the nature of the research I've been doing for the last 4 months, I don't carry it from the kayak. I hike about a mile into this research area. I know they're there pretty much every time I walk in there. I feel like I just operate like I'm being watched. I don't bring my cell phone. I don't bring cameras. I don't bring a firearm. I bring a knife, but just because I feel that it would be perceived as a utility tool if I'm just using it to cut a piece of rope or something like that, But mainly I was trying to cut out electronics, but I started not bringing my pistol on the trip at all until the last couple times I went in. I always had a lynx following me in, and then I had some wolves in the area, and then I thought, well, shit, I'm not going to even kayak up there without bringing a pistol with me.
The worst thing I think got me, I've had a bear encounter that didn't go good, and I've had 2 encounters with the wild boars that went really bad, where I actually had to find my weapon. And I don't like to shoot nothing.
I've had several bear encounters, both when I was hunting in Wyoming, Montana, and in northern Minnesota here while doing research. I've close encounters with bears, but I don't want to say that they're predictable because they aren't, but they certainly aren't as unpredictable as when you have wolves in an area and there's more than one of them. When you've got 3 or 4 wolves in an area and they start following you, you are in serious trouble.
Well, luckily here in South Carolina, we have the red wolves mostly, and it's been my experiences when I run into the red wolves, they'll run from me. They don't mess with people too much in South Carolina. I tell you what, I made the joke in chat earlier, but it ain't really no joke. I live in South Carolina. I don't carry a gun because I'm worried about Bigfoot. I carry a gun because I saw Deliverance.
Yeah. It's all the hillbilly meth labs that exist out in the middle of nowhere that you really need protection of, because those people will fight for their lives, not spend their life in prison if they're discovered. So there's a lot of things that you need to protect yourself from when you're in the woods, and animals are a small part of it. I remember a couple years ago, we don't get them here often when we're in South Dakota, at my home in South Dakota. In eastern South Dakota, we don't get mountain lions that often. We do. They get displaced out of the western Badlands, the Black Hills. They end up out here. But it's not often. But one night we had one on our back deck. And when it was on the deck and it was walking on this dry cedar, the cedar's about 10 years old, you could hear the cedar creak each step it took. It was like stalking real slow on the deck. My wife, it was dark. My wife yells out to me and says, "Jeff, what is on our deck?" And I said, so I grabbed my pistol. I said, "Flip the deck light on at the same time I'm opening this deck door." And she said, "Well, you don't want to shoot it. What if it's a person?" And I said, "Listen, I don't give a shit what could be on that deck, but the worst thing that could be on our deck is a person. If it's an animal, that's natural. But if it's a person, they got bad intentions. So that's the one thing that better not be on my deck." And people need to look at life that way. If you hear something in your garage, yeah, it'd suck if you got a skunk out there or something's in your garage, but you got a person in your garage, you got a freaking problem right there.
Iron will tell you about that.
I don't got that problem. Everybody around here knows I got a really mean dog, so they won't make no
Yeah.
My dog ripped the clothes off one of them guys that go around being a Jehovah's Witness one day.
Oh, goodness.
It's kind of hard to get people to join your church when you're naked.
Now, my dog ripped I told this guy, don't come any closer. This dog's vicious. I ain't worried about no dog. I'm here spreading the word of Jesus. And he come along up there and my dog ripped his pants off for him.
Hey, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, but I'm going to tell you right now, Jesus ain't going to save you from that dog.
My dog will make you think of it.
I look, it looks like Carrie's on here.
What's up, Carrie?
Long Island Bigfoot.
It's a pretty bunch. Yeah. Actually, we're over 2 hours.
Bigfoot Odyssey.
Every time it gets going good, Mark says he's ready to end it.
No, right?
I believe I'm going to be on
2 hours. It's all.
I'm going to be on Bigfoot Odyssey next week on Tuesday night. I think I am scheduled. Is that Bigfoot Odyssey?
The other thing. When do they do Tuesday nights?
Well, let me ask you this.
I thought it was Wednesday.
Because I get them confused. All right, some of these names, they kind of blend together in my mind. Is that the one that has Larry that does the drawings?
Yes.
That was tonight. That's what he did tonight.
Yeah, so Daniela hosts that. So I'm going to be on there next Tuesday, and Larry's going to sketch this 10-foot Sasquatch.
Oh, so they're doing a new Tuesday show. Is that it?
Yeah, so they're going to do. They did one tonight with.
Yeah, I know.
And they're going to do one next Tuesday. Now, I don't know if it's every Tuesday they do it, but she had asked me last week if Larry could sketch the face that I seen 34 years ago in my encounter in Manitoba, and I would be interested to see it because I've been looking at that face in my mind for a long time. I know exactly every detail of it. I'd love to see somebody draw it. and he
I
does
always
such
watch
an
that show
excellent
because
job.
I know. I always watch that show because I know the minute it goes off, it's time for Marks to come on, and I know what time to switch.
Yeah. I watch it. Sometimes I'll have to leave there 5 minutes early to get over here and see what you're up to. But
You don't have to do that because you know that Marks watches that show too most of the time, and he don't usually start his show that way.
I seen him in chat tonight saying hi, but I knew come 20 minutes before he goes
What does
on,
this
he's
mean?
gonna
You're
probably
gonna
have to
shit
leave.
on this one. You guys are gonna shit on this one. What does that mean?
It might be the drawing tonight. I watched that drawing tonight, and
that drawing came out good.
Yeah, it did.
Something. Now that's a good example of what the guy who was here a little bit ago was talking about with hair and length of hair, things like that. You watch that drawing of that encounter. Now that was in Missouri, okay, and I wouldn't consider Missouri gets snow in St. Louis and stuff. I mean, it's not a hot climate. It's not a cold climate.
Glad to hear
It
it.
kind of sees all four seasons. But that drawing, the hair on the top of its head, I mean, it looked like it had gotten a military haircut. And he described it saying it wasn't long. It was like spiky and laid down, which is quite different than a lot of encounters that happen farther north, like in where I'm at. But like I say, I mean, because of hot climates and genetics and things, there certainly could be differences. Those two creatures' DNA might be absolutely the same, and they just appear different,
No, when I had my sighting when I was 11 years old, I would compare what I saw to gorilla fur, not long hair.
Yeah. Well, what I saw, it had long hair, like 8 to 10 inch long hair hanging off the arms, but it was drizzling out, and it had snowed overnight, and it was all melted. The inch of snow was melted, but it was still drizzling, and there was no wind. So this creature that I saw had 8 to 10 inch hair hanging off its arms, but there was one section of the arm where, if that hair's wet and you were to wipe it, and it would just be like glued to the arm, I could see it was hanging, and all of a sudden it was just like wet smeared to its skin. I could see the same thing on the back of the calves. It flowed, and then there'd be one spot where it looked like it was matted to its skin just because it was wet. But other encounters will tell you that hair that you see flowing from one encounter is only a couple inches long, like fur and not hair, And I see that in hair samples. Tim T., who is very credible researcher down in Florida, has what he believes is hair samples. And because of the conditions he collected them in, I believe he's probably correct. But if you saw those samples, they're 2, 3, 4 inches long, and they are black as coal, and they are coarser than any hair you've ever seen, compared to the fine, limp, no medulla in them, just flimsy hairs that we're collecting up here. Could certainly be the same creature. It's just those hairs certainly have different characteristics,
If I ever get lucky enough to find an actual hair sample, I'll make sure I send it to you.
Well, I didn't realize.
Jeremy. Thanks for stopping in.
I never started realizing that. I think a lot of people, and if you go back and watch some of the stuff that I did with Joe on his Western New York channel where I talk about the research that we do, you'll see where I talk about a lot of people to collect DNA. You really don't need to do anything different than you're doing now. It's just some of the ways that we collect it. I use Velcro tabs on items that I leave that it gets curious about, and it touches it, and I get hair samples in it. And it'll be like a ball that it moves 80 yards across the field, and it's a light rubber ball you buy at Walmart for $2. A bear's claw would puncture that with minimal pressure. For something to pick it up and move it 80 yards, I mean, it's either a human or it's a Sasquatch. There isn't anything that's going to carry a ball the length of a football field and set it down. When it started getting moved, I didn't know what was doing it. So then I started putting little Velcro tabs on the ball, and that's how I started getting hair samples. The sebum, the waxy skin oil that it has on its hands and its face and different areas that show its skin, it doesn't look like an oily fingerprint that you'd actually have to put dust on and brush it and expose the fingerprint.
It's like a resin.
It shows up like half dried candle wax, like a film of, and like when I get it on the ball, I have to scrub the shit out of this ball to get it off. It's not easy to get off when you see it on a window. So like Tim T was saying, he leaves little Snicker bars and they're always getting taken and they're wrapped, right? So it's not a scent issue. They're getting opened, they're getting taken. He says, I've collected hair samples from these areas. And I said, cut a piece of plexiglass, 10 inches square, lean it 45 degrees up against a tree trunk, and set that Snicker bar under it. So now it's going to see the Snicker bar and it wants it, and it's going to move that plexiglass to grab the Snicker bar. It just put a sebum print on that piece of plexiglass. Sometimes it's not changing the way we do research. It's adding an element meant to collect a DNA sample. Just little things like that. Adding an element that if you've got something taking polished rocks, or you've got it taking marbles from a gift area, put those marbles under a piece of plexiglass. Or what I do is I was leaving pieces of Bit O' Honey candy bars, the little bite-sized ones, and they were always getting opened up. I'd find the wrapper, they're gone. And I thought, well, how do I know it's not a bear? How do I know it's not a squirrel, right? Well, Doug Hychek tells me, well, put it in a baby food jar that you've removed the label from and twist the lid tight on it. I'd do that and come back. The baby food jar's been opened, the candy's taken, and the lid screwed back on the jar. I mean, that's a person or it's a Sasquatch. It's not a bear. It's not a raccoon doing that. But in that case, I've also got a sebum sample on the jar. So sometimes just putting something that you've got being taken from a gift site inside of something in order to collect a print, or putting it under something designed to collect a print or a hair sample. Like even people who say, look, I keep finding hair on this fence line at the end of the fence where it seems to be walking around the fence right there, right? Well, go get yourself that adhesive Velcro and cut it into inch-long tabs and just put little tabs around that fence line where you'd typically stick a hand on when you walk around the fence, and just keep checking it for hair. I mean, you're not doing anything different than you're doing right now in your research. You're just adding an element that's meant to collect that DNA sample. So,
hey, if I was, I'm going to be like Larry Porch. If I'm out in the woods and I come across a Snickers bar sitting on a stump, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of human beings that eat it, and they'll leave the wrapper too.
If they're a smart human being, they ain't gonna eat no shit they find in the woods. I tell you that much.
I'm hungry enough. I'll eat the
Snickers, man.
bar.
No, people could put anything in that shit, man. You gonna come out there and pick that up and start eating it? Really?
Didn't your mama look at your candy after trick-or-treating before she let you eat it? Because there might be razor blades in it or something.
Back then, they didn't do that.
The apples.
My family was too paranoid for all that. They wouldn't let, we'd go trick-or-treat for a bunch of candy, then we'd have to give it to charity because they wouldn't let us eat nothing we got give to it. They'd take us to the store and buy stuff to replace it.
Right now, I'm envisioning Bill Murray in the pool on Caddyshack when he finds the floating baby Ruth and takes a bite of it.
There's nothing wrong with this. Cleans out the whole pool.
The lady faints when she sees him take a bite of it.
I love that movie.
That's one of my favorites.
I could probably quote that whole movie.
There's probably about 10 iconic movies where you can quote just about every. I had mentioned in chat earlier, everybody's talking about the different people's names, and I said, I'm trying to learn, people call Iron Dogger, and then they call her Jackie. I'm like, at first, when I first started, I was like, who the hell's Jackie? I don't see Jackie in here, right? And I'm just using my real name. I feel like I should have some Delta Animal House name like all you guys have, because
I known Jackie for a long time, for a long time before she started doing this stream, and I've always called her Iron Dogger. I didn't know her name was Jackie, really, till she started doing the stream.
I got
Journey to the other side. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Jamie.
Yeah, yeah.
Door's always
I
open.
love the video about the squirrel. Love your dad's play. It's awesome.
Right on. So yeah, if
Thanks, Joe.
get a chance, subscribe, check out his channel. That was cool that he came on.
Yeah.
Also, Gypsy Road. Check out Gypsy's channel.
He's going live probably right now, I believe.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to see the thing I saw in the woods, it's up on the Danny Staton channel.
Definitely check that out.
You see what WTF?
I got it on camera, and that's what's important. It don't make a damn. That's what's important.
Yeah, good on you for that, dude. Dan, that's awesome.
You don't know how often I don't get it on camera, so
Yeah,
you actually have something on camera that like this is to me is awesome. I wish I could have got it on the camera I use for the Daily Dan blog though.
Oh,
I have to take what I can get because I have two different cameras for two different channels.
One of the things that when I hear somebody say that they've caught something on camera like that, I'm always impressed with somebody who, first of all, was able to get anything on camera that you see that you don't plan on seeing, because operating under that kind of pressure is not easy. But also, the first thing I start thinking was, how cool would it have been to, once it's left that area, to go out where you first saw it, where it could have been bedded down or laying, and trying to find a hair sample or something, because it's the first thing. I guess I've just gotten so trained to think about DNA. I think about, I've said this a lot of times, the 4 things we try to achieve in research is a DNA sample, a video or picture, an audio recording, or a casting. I mean, those are really the 4 targets we're after when we, other than a body. I mean, that's what you're trying to find, right? And the interesting thing about the Patterson-Gimlin film is that they had footage and they had castings. And had they been aware of the importance or even the existence of DNA back then, they probably would have had DNA too, because they knew exactly where it walked. They knew exactly what it had touched. They probably could have found a DNA sample on top of it. But anytime, regardless of how great the video is, it'll never stand on its own in the eyes of science. And we've proven that even DNA is hard to get it to stand on its own in the eyes of science, because a lab, once they run into the unknown primate factor, it doesn't matter if there's human components of the mitochondrial DNA, they just throw it in that category and they don't go any further. It's when we have these rare instances where you get 2 of the 4 or 3 of the 4, where one starts supporting the other. And that's why, like, when I'm doing this DNA research, trying to collect all these hair samples, I mean, I've got, to this point, I think I've got 22 hair samples now. And, no, I'm sorry, 22 altogether. So I've got 13 hair samples and like around 9 sebum samples so far.
Wow.
And that on its own is great, right? I mean, we're going to DNA test that. We're going to start trying to establish a base library of DNA. But how cool would it be on that last night where all these cameras that I'm putting out there that have no batteries in them, I'm just trying to train them to get used to seeing them. I painted my game cameras fluorescent blue so you can see them from a mile away. And I put treats under them. And they're not emitting any power. They're not emitting any signals, no IR. They just come up and take these treats that I leave right in front of this camera. And a lot of times I'll leave cameras that aren't strapped to a tree, just lay on the ground. They'll pick them up and play with them and move them and lay them back down. One of the sebum samples I got off of one of these blue cameras where it grabbed it and carried it around. But on that last night, after 5 months of no electronics in this area that I'm doing, when everything's powered up, when the ball has live 4K color cameras buried in it, all this stuff, my goal is not to just submit to science or to the world 22 DNA samples. I want to say, oh, and by the way, I also collected this 4K color video of a Sasquatch walking up to the red ball that it had played with 25 weeks in a row and was used to it and loved it. And one time it walked up and it wasn't a rubber ball anymore. It was a blue ball with cameras in it. And maybe it started walking to it 80 yards away from a tree line, and halfway there it said, holy shit, it's giving off a signal. I'm not going near it. Too late, you're already on camera. That video, people, no matter how clear it is, people would tear it apart. A lot of people would say it's real, but there's always going to be people that will tear it apart. The DNA evidence on its own, people will say, oh, well, that only shows so much, right? But when the two are together, collected from the same site together, now all of a sudden you got something that if you're going to tear that apart, how are you going to tear that apart at the same time? So anytime I hear somebody say, I filmed this, or I heard this, or we found a footprint and this and that, I just think, man, and I know people aren't trained to do this. I get why people don't do it. But the idea of if you could have went out there to that spot where you first saw it and got on your hands and knees for 30 minutes just trying to find a couple hairs, the power of evidential support you'd have in that paired with the video really gets to be hard to deny, even for the most crucial skeptics, if those DNA results come back as not a known primate or even a known species. But
that's a lot
Absolutely
of information for collecting DNA, though, and any kind of evidence, though.
Where I saw the thing run immediately, even on camera, you'll see me go right up to the spot where it ran and start walking the trail looking for any tracks or signs of evidence. That's something I normally do too.
But
when I
most
had my
people don't
Bigfoot
do that.
sighting, when I had that Bigfoot
Run the other
sighting, where I
way.
saw the, sorry,
I said most people don't do that when they have a sighting. They're usually going the other way.
yeah,
when I saw that creature, I had that sighting. You saw the video. It probably, well, I don't know if you saw it, but I know Jackie did. And I actually walked down and went trying to, like a dumbass, running after it, trying to catch it. I did the video. I spent the next 5 days going back over into that same area and hiking every freaking inch of it, looking for other evidence or hoping to repeat it with the camera on.
Yeah. That's one of the things Patrick was talking about, or I should say Pat was talking about on Squatch Talk on his show earlier in the evening, was having a plan, right? Because we never plan. Anytime you capture video evidence of something, 10 minutes before it happened, you never planned on it happening, right? In most cases. So having an idea of what I'm going to do if I ever getting a great piece of evidence and not having a plan on what you're going to do with it is worse than making a plan before you even have evidence. Because the idea of I'm going to throw it on YouTube or I'm going to do this or that, I'm definitely not taking anything away from you, Dan, because I would have probably done the same damn thing. If I had that video evidence and I got a YouTube channel, right, where am I going? I'm going on my damn YouTube channel. But like when it comes to DNA samples or it comes to a really high quality 4K video footage you got from a drone, let's say, before I'd put that on YouTube, I'd send it to a Doug Highcheck or somebody who can forensically just deconstruct this video and show that there's no CGI animation. There's nothing there other than what you're seeing. This is, and when you release it to the world, whether it's on your YouTube channel or where, I mean, it's already been vetted. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm laughing. I'm sorry, but if anybody knows me, I'm not even technically savvy enough to put a freaking thumbnail on it. On a video, I sure the fuck couldn't do no CGI, no shit like that. What you see is what you get. If I find something, see something, you see it. If I don't, I put the video up and you don't see it.
That would be my response when it comes to any of the evidence I bring forth. If somebody said, "Oh, that's a hoax," my first response would be, "You are greatly overestimating my capability."
Really, there you go, man. I wouldn't know how to fake nothing. Like I say, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I can't even edit a video. like our daughter can do 10 times more shit than I do. She puts little eyeballs and footies on her videos. I can't even do that shit.
Jeff, the other thing that's good is like having the metadata because it proves that it hasn't been
it hasn't been altered.
Yeah.
One of the things Pat was talking about earlier was the discussion was based on drones. You know, one of the newest technologies that we have in research, the advancement in drones.
Oh, his superior technology.
Heat seeking and all that stuff, right? Color. But he does bring up a good point. I mean, if I'm from one spot, if I'm going to hoax a video of a guy in a suit from 100 yards away, whatever, I'm shooting it from one location. A drone being able to cover a hoax multi-dimensionally from other angles would be very, very, it gets very difficult to hoax at that point. And that's probably one of the advances if you had great drone footage of one of these, that it'd be hard to be a skeptic of it if it's showing it from multiple angles and all the movement from multiple angles versus from one spot, you know. But as far as, you know, look, I know you put a drone up over me 150 feet in the air, I can hear it humming. I mean, I don't know that. I don't know what Bigfoot's capable of telling. I don't bring electronics into my research site just because I don't know what it can. I don't know if it senses IR. I don't know if it's like, I have a theory that I think it can see in UV vision in a different light spectrum, but it sees things differently than maybe we see in the dark. But I don't know what it's capable. I don't know that to be a fact. I don't know if it can sense that there's batteries in a device. I don't any of that. I don't know what it's capable of. So to err on the side of caution, I don't bring any of that into the site, you know. But people who say, "Oh, well, they can sense this, they can sense that," bullshit. You don't know.
It's just all speculation. Everything.
You don't know that.
I'm starting to believe they can smell gunpowder.
And honestly, even if you had a body laying here and a million scientists look at it, you might still not know if it can detect a battery in a camera. You might not ever know.
The body's not going to tell you that.
No.
All right, can I say something right quick?
Sure.
Lockbeard, do not pay any attention to Peter Kane's videos. He is a stand-up comedian. He does spoofs of Bigfoot videos. He's not real. He's a comedian.
That's what he said. He said that. He said it's satire. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not real. Peter Kane does not have anything real. It's all spoofs of Bigfoot.
Hilarious.
That's all he does.
What the biggest hurdle that we go up against in the communities that we exist in with this commonality of wanting to study this.
I didn't do
Joe.
it.
Damn.
I didn't do it.
It wasn't me.
My arms
you
are
hit the
full.
red button.
Don't look at me. I can't do nothing. I barely can get on the stream to talk to y'all.
There he is. Hold on. He's back.
Hey,
I didn't do it.
You know, I don't know what happened there. But one of the things that we wrestle with is these groups of 65,000 people or 30,000 people on Facebook, right? One person doesn't know anybody. They post a video from Peter Kane or anybody else that's a proven hoaxer. And out of those 30,000 people, 20,000 of them might know it's bullshit, but 10,000 of them have no clue. So you got people liking it and sharing it, and the water gets so muddied because there are so many people there that aren't there for the research, or they haven't educated themselves of who's known for this or who's known for that. They're there just trying to learn, and they might be very early in their discovery process of learning about research and this phenomena. They might have just started last week learning about it. So when they see somebody say this is a real video, shit, they believe it. They don't know any better.
Sure.
And they share it with 20 people, you know? So that's probably the biggest hurdle that we have, is that, you know, if I was to say to you, the sky is purple, and you say, no, the sky is orange, and Jackie says the sky is blue, you can see the sky in different conditions and everybody could be right. But if I said the lawn that's growing in your front yard is purple, you could say there's no way that's true. You know what? I can go online and find some idiot who has a website somewhere who says grass can be purple. You could prove
Actually, it
anything
can
you
be
wanted
because
to
it can
online.
be spray painted different colors. I've seen them do it in California.
Well, I'm just saying that because of online and the vast expanse of the internet, you will find 10 idiots to support anything you want to make up today. Anything.
Oh, yeah.
Anything. So
I could
your
say a channel name to prove that point, but I'm not going to do it.
Well, listen, guys, we've been at this for 2.5 hours.
Yep. It was fun. I appreciate you letting us come on again. It was nice seeing you, Jackie. I hope you get better soon as far as the pain in your back.
Yeah, me too.
Surprised. It was a surprise.
Me too. It's a pain in the butt. Thank you. Yeah.
Nice
And
meeting you, Dan.
for letting me come on and tell my little story tonight.
I'm excited to get off and watch the videos once we're off of YouTube.
I love other people's opinion. I look for comments.
No,
that's all I've got. Is other people's opinion.
Where do we find that again, Dan?
On the Danny Staton channel. It's called Little Better Dog Man Caught on Camera. Rob dropped the link in the chat. And
perfect.
Rob's awesome.
He just put it in chat again. Right on.
And thank you very much for that, Mr. Rob. I appreciate that. And I want to give a special shout out to a lady named Brenda Hawkins. I don't know if anybody knows her or not. She does some Bigfoot research stuff. This lady really helps me. She analyzes all my videos, takes the screenshots for them, sends them to me and stuff, and even catches a lot of stuff I miss.
Wow.
I really should do a video just on the screenshots that she sent me.
One of these days, we're going to sit down and do an interview with her.
And I did do an interview with Brenda Hawkins. You can see that on her channel.
Yeah, we're supposed to do one sometime.
You should do one. That lady's awesome.
Yeah,
so I'm going to put everybody backstage. Iron, you can hang out.
See you later. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for coming and hanging out.
Absolutely. I'll talk to y'all backstage.
All right.
See you later, Dan.
And bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, Jackie.
Sorry. Finish saying your goodbyes.
No, I was just going to thank everybody for listening to me tonight and watching the video and giving me their opinions on it. I appreciate that a lot. You don't know how much.
Absolutely.
Thanks for sharing.
Coming on.
All right, and put me backstage. I'll talk to you for a few minutes.
All right.
Okay. Bye, Mike.
Jackie, nice to see you.
You too, Joe. You too.
And don't forget, guys, if you're not doing anything Labor Day weekend and you want to pop up to what is it, Thunder Rock
Campground,
Copper Mine,
nearby Copper Hill, Tennessee, which
Copper
is,
Hill.
like they say, you can piss in Georgia and throw a rock in North Carolina.
Right on the OC River. How do you pronounce that river?
I think it's OC. I don't know. It's OC
something like that.
or something like that. But if you think you can't find a place to camp, come on out. We'll get you a place to camp. We'll put you up somewhere.
Right on.
Awesome.
And we will most likely be feeding everybody on Saturday. And we're going to have a Q&A, and we're going to tell everybody's stories and everything. And if you want to get up and say something, you can. And then that night, we're going to have like I said, around the campfire, and everybody tells stories. But I'll be up squatching.
That'll be awesome.
I'm not going to go all the way up there and not go squatching.
Right?
No, that would yeah, no, I'd be squatching with you.
And Old Bear's going to have T-shirts. I think Minimal Research is going to have T-shirts, and I'm going to have T-shirts.
Cool.
If you want to buy T-shirts, help me have gas money to get home.
Very cool. All right, John.
Come by my tent. It's going to be Party Central.
Right on.
Sounds like fun.
I hope it is.
All right.
And like I said, we're going to try to go do some live feeds during the camp. If we get service, out there, we're going to do some live feeds. But I'm going to video the whole thing, and I'll put it up on my channel whenever I get back and recuperate. And
it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
I hope so. And y'all should come up. I know, Jackie, you can't because it's just
I know. I wish.
It's about a 2-hour drive for you.
To what? The airport?
Right?
Thanks for having me on, Mugs. Good night, Jackie. Good night, Mugs. We'll see
you,
y'all.
Joe.
Good night, Joe. Thank you so much, man.
Love both of y'all.
You too. Well, I'm so glad you popped in. I'm glad you're feeling a little better.
Oh yeah, thank you. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. I don't know. I know. I was telling my sister, we were both laying there whining. I'm like, I don't know what the hell. What am I gonna do? Licking our wounds.
So, thank you to everybody in chat for coming out tonight. You guys were awesome. Turned into an amazing show.
Yeah,
Really did.
Nice to see Carrie on too.
Yeah, that was. And it's funny because we would normally have been off the air by then if we stuck 2 hours. So yeah, everybody that came out tonight, thank you so much. All the guests.
That was fun. It was
and you know, you're more than welcome to come back anytime. So thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody in chat, thanks again. I'll be back. What is today? It's Tuesday. I forgot because
I know. I screwed your whole week up, huh?
I will be back on Thursday and we'll do it again. Hopefully, we'll have another good show.
Yeah. It'd be good to get Mike and on there and
WTF Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's overdue.
Yeah, my nemesis.
All right, guys. Once again, and if you guys like the show, please hit that link below. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I saw a lot of new faces here today. Thank you guys so much for showing up. That was, I love to see new faces. And
awesome.
Share it if you like. Nobody ever shares it. Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Peace and good night.
Thanks. See ya.